You can't see this because I'm pouring myself an adult beverage. Yes, a little bit of, just a little for the flavor. Okay, that's better. It doesn't count as long as it's a mixed drink, correct? I mean, I think pretty sure that's the rules. Yes. I don't know. Let me turn the volume down a little bit on the game, like so. Yeah, that's about right. Hello, folks. We're in pre-show. We're not going to start until 11 o'clock, but it is so good to see some of you in the chat room. Today we're going to be playing Oxygen Not Included. I'm gonna re-explain this when we start up. It's a game that I don't think it's too fine a point to say that I've become addicted to it. I've played it for literally for thousands of hours during the pandemic. I picked it up a way long time ago, and I didn't really even give it a view through. And then the lockdown hit, and we were stuck here in Italy, and I started playing this, and I realized it really appealed to my engineering brain. It's basically a puzzle game where you make and solve the puzzles. If you've ever picked up one of these engineering games, sort of like Satisfactory or not really even SimCity. It's it goes beyond what SimCity used to do. This is really a game about oh no, not that one. About finding resources, dealing with the environment until it's mastered, and then moving on to the next planet / asteroid / whatever it might be. So today, what I'd like to do tonight is there's a couple of tasks I want to complete. I want to get into space. I want to clear out a couple of the infectious biomes, and I'll explain what those mean. And I've got a major power problem. Again, I'll have to recap this. I'm going to actually clip this whole section off when this finally goes up on YouTube. But when this seed started, so the seed, the map, the pattern, I've learned to look for seeds that are hard. You want a super hard seed up front, because what that means is it becomes easier mid-game and late game. The easy seeds, the ones that seem to give you everything up front, they end up being much harder as you go on. So, for example, if you pick a seed that it seems to have an abundant amount of food, there's food everywhere. There's almost too much food. There's water and there's cooling every single place that you look. That looks great to start, but then you're going to find out that it lacks metal volcanoes. And so now you're limited. You're very limited on what you can build. Or it has zombie spores all in the oil biome, which really slows you down in mid and late game, because that's where you're going to be getting most of your power towards the end of the game. So it's not always, but if you find a seed that's hard, and this was very hard at the beginning because it gave me a very small amount of resources. Essentially, I was out of food within like the first 10 days. And so I really had to struggle to keep the colonists alive. I couldn't grow the colony that quickly as I used to like to. And it was hot. Like everything around here was hot. So here's This is where is it? This is where you start. You start at the pod, and like this area up to about here, and see where I've put those walls from here to here to about here was cool enough for me to grow plants so that my colonists wouldn't die. But everything outside was super hot. And so I had to rush to get to the research that allowed me to build these insulated walls because, and this is actually the most common way for a colony to die in this game. It just gets so hot. Now, the dupes can survive up to about 75 degrees Celsius. These guys, my players. I can't actually do anything directly. I can tell the players what I want to do. I tell them what to build, what to deconstruct, what to grow, etc., etc. They are pretty hardy. They can survive very cold and very hot temps. But the problem is, if it gets too hot in the base, nothing grows. Above about 24, 25 to 30 degrees, you're going to start losing all the crops that could keep your dupes alive. And once that happens, it's just downhill. There's no way to fix it, especially in early game, because you haven't developed any of the cooling technologies yet. Now, you can offset that normally by, there's a lot of these seeds will put like a cooling geyser. I'll show you what the geysers look like. Some source of cool water or cool gas that you can use, you can purpose to cool off areas. But unfortunately, like the closest water I had was this, which is coming out at 97 degrees Celsius, and a bunch of high pressure, high temperature steam. In fact, I had to wall off from this because this was going to kill this alone. This one geyser alone, if I had not found it and capped it immediately, it would have killed the base, like within the first 30 or 40 cycles. But that's it. That's the only water I had. So I had to start generating power and air off that super hot water, and that shaped a lot of the decisions. And then this whole area down here, this was all infectious biome. So if you look at this, see, it looked like this. These green things, those are slime lung. Now, they nerfed slime lung in one of the patches, so it's not nearly as dangerous. It used to be, when I first started playing, if you got slime lung into your base, it would single-handedly kill everyone. Because one dupe would get infected, and then that dupe would infect another dupe, and then it would multiply. And by the time, if your dupes managed to survive being sick, they would get reinfected by the dupes that they infected. So it was just this cascade effect, because if they were all sick, then you had to quarantine them. If they're quarantined, it means they're not building. If they're not building, it means they're not growing. If there's not growing, it means there's no food. If there's no food, everyone dies. So that was all of this. This whole area was infected, and I had to dig through it to get to this. I thought this was going to be my savior. I thought, oh, look, it's a saltwater geyser. It's a cooling geyser. No, it emits salt water at 95 degrees. So, and it wasn't until I got down all the way to the bottom of the map that I finally found they have two cool geysers on this entire map. A cool slush geyser, which emits polluted water, and a saltwater slush geyser, which emits cool salt water. But I had to get all the way to the bottom of the map, which means I had to go through all of these different biomes that were infected. And again, this is the whole choose a map that's hard at the start, because now that I've gotten through that, and now that my colony has survived, I actually let this thing run overnight. I was up to like cycle 150, and I had things pretty well in hand. I queued up a bunch of moves and I just let run. And so what you're seeing is, 600 cycles later, this is where we're going to pick up. I now need to deal with the power problem. So that means I need to extract oil, which means I need to get water down into the oil biome to run the oil wells. I also want to get my first spaceship into the air, because I need to be in space in order to generate these data packets that will allow me to research better technologies, which will allow me to get better space travel. Also tonight, I want to use this thing. So this is a way to teleport to the closest planetoid. A lot of people like to do this within the first couple of cycles. I mean, I had to find it. I had to dig to this thing. But I'm a little bit different. I don't like sending dupes off the first planet until I'm ready to really explode out. And I'm at the point where I have enough resources gathered up where I can actually make a big push into the outer planets. But let's save that because we're going to start up in about a minute. Anyways, how are you all doing? I see Scott and Donald in the chat room. It's very nice to see you. This is going to be a totally chill night. It's been a pisser of a week. It's been a horrible, horrible week. And I just wanted to spend some time playing a video game and not thinking about any of the work, any of the stuff that's going on in my life. You know, it is an escape, but at the same time, I do enjoy this. It engages parts of my brain that I don't really have to engage during the week. I'm not doing as much problem solving as I used to when I was doing full engineering. Now it's all political intrigue. And, you know, God, I had to turn in a new draft on how the Jesuits were going to take over the world. And those people are never satisfied. They're always looking for an improvement in the efficiency of the conversion of the heathens. I mean, that's just hard. It's hard stuff. But let's go ahead and kick it off. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. I'm Father Robert Balzer, the Digital Jesuit. And what you are seeing here is Oxygen Not Included. This is a game that I picked up during the pandemic, and it has really just sort of sucked in my time. It is the black hole of time. It has used thousands of my hours, although that's a little bit of a misnomer because even though if you looked at Steam, I think I probably have close to 3,000 hours on this. A lot of that time, probably about 85% of that time, it was unattended. This is not a turn-based game, but what it is it's a cycle-based game. So right now we're in cycle 721. What that means is that every 60 seconds there's a new cycle, a day-night cycle. You have to manage your colony. You start with 3 dupes, and hopefully they don't die. I learned this, and I talked about this in the pre-show. What you're looking for is you really want a map that looks a little difficult. Because the way that the world seed generation works in Oxygen Not Included, if the map is too easy, if it has too much resources, if it seems to give you everything you want, you've got cool water, you've got lots of plants that are naturally planted, you've got resources right there in the starting biome, that's the sucker you in. Because everything in this game is designed to kill you. It's designed to kill your colony. And that's what makes it fun. You actually are fighting the game. It'd be boring if after the first 10 cycles, you had, the perfect strategy to win all the way to the end of the game. It's a constant struggle between getting resources, building with those resources, getting more resources. If you've ever read the book series, The Bobberverse, they talk about this geometric progression. There's a natural tendency, once we have what we think we need, to just start building, start going. And the problem with doing that is when those resources, those naturally easy to find resources start running out, and we haven't done the work to continue whatever it is that we're building, then the project dies. Well, the same thing here, except the colony dies. All right, so what I've got today, I've got a mid-game, actually to late-game colony. I played about 150 cycles. I got it into more or less a stable configuration where I was growing enough food to keep the dupes alive. I kept my population down. And then I queued up a bunch of orders, a bunch of build and dig orders to open up everything and expose all the resources that I needed. And then I just let it run overnight. And so what we have now is we have the mid to late game configuration of this particular map, where I've collected, as you can see on the side here, a ton of resources, more than ton. I've got what? Let's see, like 54 tons of refined copper. I've got 42 tons of refined iron. I've got a bunch of volcanoes that have been tamed, so I keep adding to my resource count. I've mined out pretty much every bit of metal in the non-infectious biomes, and now I'm ready to go ahead and push into space and to do some fine-tuning on my map here. Now, one of the things I'm working on is this. This is the last volcano, I think. I haven't explored the entire map yet. The last volcano in the default planet, in the first world. This is an aluminum volcano. It's a little easier to tame. If you look at the bottom, I tamed 2 volcanoes down in the oil biome. That's at the bottom of the map. That's where the oil comes from. I tamed this one first, which is a copper volcano, which is fantastic because this erupts for 110 cycles of every 154 cycles. and it just pumps out super hot copper. How hot is the copper? Well, the copper comes out at 2,226 degrees. So it would be catastrophic if you were to just let this metal fall into the oil biome. It would flash all of the oil immediately into sour gas, and it would start poisoning your colony very quickly, and then you'd suffer heat death. So I built this. This is a little system to cool it down. So what you've got is these two turbines are actually self-cooled, because as they cool the steam, they're going to generate little heat themselves. But as it erupts, it's taking the steam from the water that I pumped into this closed chamber, it condenses it, and then it just cools these things down enough so that they don't melt. What that will do is it will take that 2,000 plus degree copper and bring it down to something like 600 degrees. And then it uses the system of rails to move the copper through this chamber. And by the time it gets to the end, you get that copper down to like 200 degrees. And then I built this cooling chamber over here, and by the time the copper and the iron come out, like this copper is at 3.5 degrees, the iron's at 4.4 degrees. The iron's even hotter. This pumps out liquid iron at 2,526.9 degrees Celsius. It doesn't erupt as much, but that is a lot of heat. What a lot of people do is when they see these, they'll deal with it in one of two ways. Either they won't uncover it, because if you don't uncover a volcano or a geyser, say like this, I was able to uncover just a little bit. This is a chlorine gas vent. I don't want chlorine. I don't need chlorine. It would be a bother if it started emitting chlorine. So you just leave it covered like this, and it won't do anything. It will start to erupt, and then it's overpressure, and it won't dump any of its contents into your planet. A lot of people just leave the volcanoes covered. I want to uncover them as soon as possible because I want those resources. I want that refined metal because that's basically what drives the game. You can't do anything in this game without some sort of refined metal. So I got those early on in the game. I actually got those before I went to bed. And then up top, this was the last volcano. It's an aluminum volcano, not nearly as hot. You know, those other two are 2,000 plus degrees. This one's only 1,700. And I'm using a slightly different setup. Again, I've got the self-cooled turbines. So the water that comes down is going to go ahead and condense, and then it will cool off the turbines and then reintroduce into the steam chamber. I did add this. This is something that I added on the other two. I noticed that because of some glitches in the way that the game works, occasionally the turbines would go over 100 degrees. And when they go over 100 degrees, they stop working. And it's like a superconducting quench, because if the turbines stop working, it means it's no longer removing heat. If it's no longer removing heat, it means you're building up heat. If you're building up heat, it means more heat's going to bleed through. And eventually, things just start melting. So I put in a little security device. I haven't hooked this one up yet, but like for down below, I actually tapped a little bit of the cooling loop that I use to cool off my metals, which is this. So it's circulating water at -7 to 2.2 degrees. It's going through this little cooling device on its own turbine. If this ever gets hotter than 99 degrees, what it will do is it will go ahead and it will siphon off that water and run it through a very small loop here. And that's all it needs. In fact, see, it just ran right here. So it just got over 99 degrees. So it pulled a little bit of that fluid. It cooled it off just enough so that these never seize up. Now, on paper, you shouldn't have to do that because I did all the calculations. By the way, yeah, if you look at the Wikipedia, they have a wiki page for this, and it's amazing because everyone has figured out all of the equations for how the game mechanics work. It shouldn't need it, but for any number of reasons, because I changed the design a little bit and I included the power transformer, which adds a little bit of its own heat, or because I'm not using the same type of pipes because I didn't have the same types of minerals as some of the other builders, that's fine. It works. All right, so let's go ahead and kick it off. Let me show off some of the ways that my base has survived. The first thing I did was very early when I first got down into the oil biome, which has a lot of lead, and lead is a refined metal. It's a very cheap, not super high grade high metal, but it is still a metal, and allowed me to make this little box. This thing, along with the mushrooms, feeds my base. I
set my dupes up to the surface, and I captured or killed all of these things. They're shovels. They basically eat regolith and poop half as much as they ate. So yeah, they're eating what they're pooping. Yeah, it's kind of like fast food. And then when they die, you get a massive amount of meat. So it's just a little meat factory. It's a self-contained meat factory. And then down below, the first thing I built was this. This is a little automated mushroom thing. I dumped all the slime, because that's what it feeds on, all the slime into this little container right here. And then these little sweepers have the ability to take that slime and fertilize, feed the mushrooms. Now, when the mushrooms get ripe, they fall off. Then these sweepers sweep it into this conveyor loader, and the conveyor loader brings it up to my little kitchen, my little cooking area, where these dupes cook it up. Give me some fast food, some calories. Keep doing it, dupes. Now, this kind of has two modes. This is probably the most useful building that I build in early game, because before this, it's a lot of gathering. But the gathering means your dupes have to go all over the place. Like I have to go all the way down here for wheat, and all the way down here for the ingredients for spicy bread. Because I have this so close to the kitchen, and because I was able to very quickly add sweepers, I have a way just to have mushrooms delivered on a regular basis. And if I need more, if let's say I'm really starting to run low, for some reason food is spoiled, I can unlock this, because this is running completely unattended right now. If I unlock this, then the dupes can get down here. They harvest much faster, and they can use the fertilization machine, which would increase the amount of calories I get out of this box by like 50%. But for now, because I've got both this and this, my calories are taken care of. I mean, I can support these 16 dupes probably for the next 1,000 cycles with nothing. I was able to leave it overnight. Ooh, look, I got something coming out of the printing pod. Ooh. Now, every 3 days, the game lets you print something from the printing pod. You can either choose another dupe, which can increase the amount of work resource, human resource, dupe resource that you have available to you, or you can choose something like an oxyfern seed. An oxyfern is a plant that converts carbon dioxide into oxygen, or food. And very early on, it's almost always food. Because if you take a dupe, yes, you get more worker resources, but it also means you have to feed another mouth. And more importantly, you have to provide enough oxygen for another dupe. And that can kill. If you go too quickly, you'll kill everyone, because now you have no oxygen, you have no food, and you die. So I'm going to go ahead and take the grub fruit preserves, not for me, but for these hatches. These little hatches are going to eat it, and they'll poop it out. I built this, again, early game. I didn't just come up with this design. This is something that we call the full Rodriguez, because it was made by a user with the name Rodriguez. It is a SPOM. It's a self-powered oxygen module. This is not actually hooked up to my power grid. This is entirely on its own, which is what makes this thing wonderful, because it never glitches. It provides its own power. In fact, not only does it provide its own power with these hydrogen generators, but it is able to provide enough excess hydrogen to give me a nice little backup power source. In fact, at the beginning, this was my primary power source. All I have to do is feed it water. So once I've primed the system, I just feed it water. It turns that water with these electrolyzers into hydrogen and oxygen. The pink is hydrogen, the blue is oxygen. And then the hydrogen gets siphoned off by this pump up top, and the oxygen gets siphoned off by the pumps down at the bottom. This is enough oxygen to supply 30 dupes, so like twice as many dupes as I have right now. And the nice thing about it is the more oxygen you consume, the faster it will be able to generate. Because the limitation here is these hit their, you'll see it, see max, let me see if I can pause there, max gas pressure. So these will only pressurize up to a certain point. And if you're not sucking gases away, it stops turning water into gas. And so if you can pull 30 dupes full of oxygen, you'll actually generate more oxygen and, more importantly, more hydrogen. Now, the way the rest of the system works is that hydrogen comes off. I put it into this tank. And then that tank fills up. When that tank fills up, you see this little bend right here? If it hits the, let's see, it should hit the filling point right about, there you go. See how that went off to the side? Once the tank is full, any of the excess will come down this little spillway, and then it fills up these tanks and this room. That's just super simple, completely unpowered system to make that work properly. And then from this tank, it runs these four hydrogen generators, which fill up this battery. This is an automated smart battery, which allows it to only turn on the hydrogen generators when it needs it, when the power has run low. Those batteries and generators power these three transformers, and those three transformers power all of the equipment in this room. So it's a nice little self-contained unit. I really like the engineering on this. I can't claim it. I just modified it for my use, but it is a brilliant design. Now, one thing I did add that a lot of people who run the Rodriguez don't is I did add a gas filter. Now, this is normally verboten. People hate when you do this because that uses up 120 additional watts, and power usage is a killer here. And these pumps are using 240 each. The electrolyzers use 120. This filter uses an additional 120. The reason why I have that in there is because, especially in early game, if you don't have a lot of dupes, this will get unbalanced because you really need the hydrogen, but you don't need the oxygen that much. So what will happen is the oxygen will overpressurize. It will start spilling into this area, and then you've got oxygen getting sucked up by the hydrogen pump. Now that's bad because when that happens, you'll actually fill this tank, all of these tanks, and all of the tanks that are connected to those tanks with little bits of oxygen, and that damages the equipment that it runs. Now, if it's just one of the generators, that's easily fixed. But especially in an early game, these things, you have to find these. You have to dig these things out. Normally there's three on the map. I've only been able to find two so far. The AETN, the Anti-Entropy Thermonullifier. This is a game mechanic that when you supply hydrogen, it deletes heat. So yeah, it violates a rule of thermodynamics. That's why it's a video game. But it's one of the most useful devices you'll have in early to mid game until you build up enough resources and the technology to build your own cooling. Because unless you find slush geysers, cold geysers, which there were none on this map until you got to the very bottom, your colony will die very quickly unless you uncover these things. So I threw it in there because very early on I was noticing I was super in danger of getting out of sync. And at one point after I had installed this, it actually did. I started sucking oxygen up into the hydrogen pipe. And if that was not there, and if I had not noticed it, it would have damaged those AETNs. And you need steel to repair those. And I didn't have steel until later games. So I would have lost the AETNs, and ultimately that would have been it. It would have killed the colony. So, yeah. All right, so let's get to this. The first thing I want to do is I want to start building my spacecraft. I need, right now, the only kind of rocket I really can build is a carbon dioxide rocket. That's the only fuel I have. I don't have access to cryo fuel. I mean, I could start building a cryo plant, but unfortunately, I don't have the power grid for that. If I started running a cryo plant, I'd have to be running cooling 24/7 or 60 seconds per cycle, and it would eat up all my power and I'd die. Eventually, I'm going to have this. I'm building a nuclear reactor. So there's a research reactor that you can buy. You can build. I don't yet have the technology for it. I can't. It's not in my tech tree. In order for me to get there, I have to research. Where is that puppy? Right here. Radiation refinement. So I have to get a few more items. I need this one, and then I can do this one. Unfortunately, you need these. You need data banks, and you can only craft those in space. So I have to get into space before I can build myself a reactor. Once I get that reactor, and I've already mined a lot of uranium, this thing will provide enough heat to run 9 steam turbines getting 1,200 watts each. And that essentially, that solves my power problem. I don't even really need to use oil. I could be a nuclear powered civilization. But before I can do that, I got to build a rocket platform. And this is going to be a throwaway because it's going to be a carbon dioxide rocket. Carbon dioxide rockets are super short range. Essentially, you just use it until you find something better. I'm going to build it over here because it's going to release a lot of exhaust, and I don't want to get it into the reactor building. So the reactor building right now is open to space. The reason a lot of people build the reactor buildings in the down here somewhere, I don't like doing that because if you do that, you spend a lot of time vacuuming it out because you don't want anything in there except steam. It will interfere with the turbines. It will mess up the calculations for how much power it generates. If you build it in space, it's a vacuum. It starts as a vacuum. Not only that, I don't really have to worry about insulation because it's a vacuum. No heat is going to travel through a vacuum. In fact, that's how, like down here, you'll notice I've got double walls wherever I got high heat, especially like right here. Super hot. This was the water that the base wanted me to use. That was the only water it provided me. If I had let this into the base, it would have killed everything. But you have to do double tiling to keep that heat from coming through, and even then it bleeds through a little bit. And a nuclear reactor is a ridiculous amount of heat. So I build my nuclear reactors up in space for two reasons. One, because it's already in a vacuum, and I don't have to worry about losing a vacuum. That's a nice thing about this. If something goes wrong, like if I misbuilt it, or sometimes you use the wrong material and it starts degrading, I can vent the reactor to space, and all the gases and all the steam will go out into space, and it doesn't contaminate the base. So again, I'm a big fan of that. The other reason why I build it up here is those shovels, those little worm things that I use for food. Well, they are very bothersome because they can basically go through anything. They won't attack you, but what they will do is if they find dirt inside the base or regolith inside the base, they'll eat it and then they'll crap it out. And if they happen to crap it out on top of a piece of equipment, that equipment is disabled until you can dig it out. Well, if you build your nuclear reactor where shovels can get to it, if they happen to vomit out that regolith on top of, say, the primary cooling loop, and then the reactor goes dry, it actually melts down. It explodes, which generally, I don't know, maybe it's just in video games. Generally, you don't want that. That's a bad result. I think that's what they used to call that. So yeah. Oh, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and build right about here. So I'm going to build over, and then this is going to be just a throwaway thing. I'm going to build a wall all the way up to the space break, so that any of the exhaust gases from this rocket, they'll dissipate into space rather than coming over here. I don't want anything contaminating this reactor building until I get it fully built. And then we're going to go ahead and build ourselves a little landing pad, because that's how we start our build, like so. There you go. Open up the bottom. Gonna need a couple of ladders here. Now, because it's a carbon dioxide rocket, it's super not powerful. It's crazy, ridiculously underpowered, but it's what we got right now. So it's the stepping stone to all the other stuff. And I'm gonna go ahead and bump up the priority so that the dupes build all this stuff quickly. Yeah, there you go. I want the rocket platform first, because once I got the rocket platform, I can go ahead and start building the modules on top of it. The carbon dioxide rocket can't really take that much. What did I build this out of? Lead. That's fine. Lead, you generally don't want to build anything out of lead that's going to get hot because it will melt. But in this particular case, that's fine. This is disposable. This is just to get me up into space so I can do the research to get the data packets so that I can research up the better rockets and the better power. Now you can see these little green blotches? That's because everything up here is being irradiated. The reactor housing provides a lot of protection, so 0 rads under here. But if you go where the dupes are working, it's a slight hazard. It's 250 rads per cycle. So everything out here is getting a nice healthy dose of radiation. Woohoo! There you go, dupes. Enjoy that sunburn. This is a relatively new mechanic because, again, when I first started playing this, slime lung was actually a major problem, and we didn't have radiation. We had sunburn. If you came out and you were in direct sun too long, it would cause your dupes to debuff. They would lose a little bit of their productivity. In this case, my dupes, 250 rads is not good, but it's not bad. I mean, as opposed to the nuclear waste that will come off this reactor, which I will collect because I can turn that into an alternate power source, I was getting 100,000 rads, which it's instant death. I had one playthrough where I forgot to put a tile down, and one of the dupes just thought, because remember, you can't control them directly. You set tasks. And I guess I had set one dupe on tidying, and there was a little bit of debris at the bottom of the tank that contained the nuclear waste, and it went down to get it, and it just touched the waste, and boom, instant death. So don't do that. That's not nice. All right, so let's go ahead and build a rocket. We're going to build a carbon dioxide engine. We're going to make it out of gold amalgam. Yeah, sure, I got a lot of that. And then above that, I need to put a battery. Do I have battery technology? Yeah, I need batteries. And then above that, I'm going to put the Spacefarer module. A lot of people start with the smaller cockpit module, but I can reuse this. So I'm going to build it once, so I don't have to build it a bunch of times. And I'm going to make this one out of copper. And again, in the pre-show, I was saying how it's important for you to have these refined metals. If I hadn't capped those volcanoes, I would have very little. Now I basically got all I want, and I'm gonna build it out of ceramic insulation. Yeah, build that. And let me bump all those priorities up to 9. I'm gonna build the most phallic lopsided rocket you've ever seen. It's gonna be awesome sauce. I am not drinking Coke. You did not see that. I'm drinking this, which is Coke and something else. Okay, so this is kind of fun. This is what the inside of the rocket looks like right now. Super Spartan. Ain't a whole lot of stuff here. The problem is, first of all, there's no oxygen. It's a vacuum. So I got to fill it up with oxygen. But also, dupes have to live and survive in here, and it's a very small amount of space. And I kind of want to create a new design. There are some designs out there that, you build it for a single purpose. So like if I was gonna build it to make myself the data packs, I would send it up with a small generator, a box of food, and then I would let the dupe pee everywhere. I don't want that. I actually want to make like a house. So what I want to do is I want to abuse the game mechanics. If you see, there's this way to get liquid from the outside to the inside. And what I can do, since I don't have the space to put any like liquid tanks, I'm going to use the pipes, because you can build the pipes behind everything. I'm going to snake the pipes all the way through and fill the pipes up with as much water as possible, essentially acting like a tank, but it's a tank that doesn't use up any space in the spacecraft. And I'm going to do the same thing with the oxygen. I'm going to I'm going to build pipes everywhere and then fill them up with oxygen. And by my calculations, if I can get 60 of these segments, each filled with, I think, 10 grams of oxygen or 10 kilograms of oxygen, I can essentially go for 3 days in space without having to worry about any other oxygen source for one dupe. All right, so first let's go ahead and we're going to delete this. We're going to make some room. There you go. Thanks, dupe. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my my plumbing fixtures up here. I'm going to put a bathroom right there. I'm going to put a sink. You want to put a sink. Again, a lot of people skip this for spacecraft because they just figure it's going to be a temporary thing. And, why not just let your dupe suffer? No. I want to build like a little hotel. So medicine, I want to put a sink here. And what the sink will do is it will make sure that they don't bring any of their germs back into the other parts of the spacecraft, because otherwise you'll end up with a germy mess and they touch anything and they get sick, and that's not great for me. One of the nice things about waiting until late game for me to do this is I have made a ton of reed fiber. I've covered my base in these super nice tiles. And the reason why you want to do that is the higher your decor, the more morale your dupes will have. The more morale your dupes have, the happier they are. The happier they are, the more productive they are. And in fact, if they have low morale, you actually start to lose a little bit. Now, I'm probably also going to want to put a door here, but if I look, I get a bonus to morale if, where is it? Bathroom, washroom, washroom. There we go. It needs to be 12 tiles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need this too. All right, so I can do that. That's fine. So go ahead and build that. I'm going to rebuild this. Dupes will, when they're not wearing their suits, which they won't be able to inside the capsule, they exhale carbon dioxide. And so instead of putting a scrubber, which would take both space and power, I'm just going to install a little pump. Like so. Yeah, right about there. And then what this will do is it will allow me to, I can put an automation sensor so that when it detects carbon dioxide, remember carbon dioxide is a heavier gas, so it will go down. So I'll put the carbon dioxide sensor right about here. So when it detects carbon dioxide on that sensor, it will pump that gas out of the cabin into space. It's going to waste the gas, which I don't normally like doing, but it's such a small amount, I'm fine with it. And then on top of this, I'm going to rebuild the rocket control station because you need that so that your dupe can fly the thing. So I'm going to have to get really creative. The other thing I want in here is a telescope, because if you build a telescope in here, it means that your dupes will be able to find other planets. So let's go ahead and I don't know if I can squeeze everything in here, but I'm going to give it a good try. Right, so telescope right about there, which means let's go ahead and decorate that up. Okay, yeah, it's shaping up. All right. So the traditional way would be to build a ladder straight up and down, but again, I'm so space limited, I'm not going to do that. So let's go with something like this. So I need a door there. I'm gonna want to put the lab. I need a lab to create the what do you call it? The research, the data packets, which are where? That's stations. So that's okay. Here's a problem. I'm gonna make this out of plastic. And I think all of my plastic just came out of the plastic manufacturing device, which, yeah, it's at 55 degrees. So that's a no-go. If I were to make this out, if I were to build the plastic things right now, it would build it with that 55-degree temperature material, which I think gets capped at 45. But that's still hot. And again, it's going to be like a microcosm of the problems I have in my base, where it gets too hot, and eventually I just have to destroy it because there's no way to cool it down. In fact, did it already build that pump? Because that pump is also made out of plastic. It did. How hot is it? Yeah, see, it's 45 degrees. I don't want that. All right, so that was a mistake, but that's just one mistake. So the other thing I want to do is I want to take all the plastic, and I want to essentially do to it what I did to the metals. Run it through someplace cold. Well, where do I have this cold? Ooh, I could store it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what up here, it's super cold. So if I store the plastics up here right about, it's got to be, it has to be someplace where it's not a vacuum. If you start where there's a vacuum, it won't transfer heat. This is not bad. Although if I put it on that, it's going to melt. Over here. So we're going to build a storage bin, and we are going to store our plastic inside of it. We're going to put a temp shift plate. It's going to be slow because it's not an active process, but eventually it will cool down to the temperature I want. There you go. So build that. Okay, let's get back in here. I'm going to build my manufacturing station right about here. I don't want to build it yet, because if I build it, it's going to build it with the super hot plastic. And then I need a bin to actually hold the plastic. This is a fun part of the design, because most devices have to be on a floor somewhere. If they're not on the floor, they don't work properly. So let's go ahead and let's actually build a ladder for them to build this stuff. But some devices, like these shipping containers, you can build these in the air, these conveyor loaders. But they store a whole lot less. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to build a big container at the bottom for the two things I need. I need algae and I need plastic. With those two things, with algae I can make oxygen, and with plastic I can make data packs. Yeah. Let's see. Yep. So that will be perfect for the size of the bathroom. And then I need a place where I'm going to pull power. Okay, where's power going to come from? Where's it? Power outlet, okay. So I could put this here. If I put this here, I could snake the wires all the way around. This has to touch this. It has to touch one of the steel walls of the rocket. See, so I can put it on the walls, on the ceiling, on the floor, but I can't put it on any of the floors that I built inside of that rocket. All right. Okay, so build this stuff, dupes, and then let's start getting creative with the water here. So we're gonna build this out of granite, because granite transmits heat a little bit easier. And what this will allow me to do is it will actually allow me to cool off the rocket. So again, I want to maximize the amount of space that I take up. So something like this. Over. Like that. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Yeah. And then... Okay. Like so. Okay. Then I want... how do I do this? Okay, so these have to get... These are the outputs, and they have to get to the here. So I can do it like... Yeah, like this. And this goes up. A bridge over the top. And go continue on the way up. Wait, is there a better way to do this? I think there might be. Yeah, there is. Okay, so what I can do is extend the curve right here. Oh, I'm still gonna... I'm gonna miss one segment. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. You don't have to have every segment, Robert. And then this goes up, down, over, and through. So that's going to bug me. I'm pretty sure, I'm running it through my head right now. There's a way to get every single space used up by pipe, but that's all right. There you go. Make this go down. And then this, I'm going to use insulated pipe. No, don't have to. Actually, regular pipe, because insulated pipe, I'll take a decor hit. And this combines, and then it goes out. All right, so this will fill up with water. All of these pipe segments will fill up with 10 kilograms of water each. And then it will supply both the sink and the toilet. And it actually uses up very little. I could be in space for a week of cycles, and I probably will only use maybe half of the run. And then every time it lands, it will refill automatically. All right, so let's do the same thing for oxygen. So oxygen is going to come in. Let's use granite right here. And that's our output. So where are we going to put the vent? That's a good question. Should probably figure that one out before we do anything else. All right. Good. Okay, while they're building that, let's see. Did we build the plastic thing? We did. All right, so I need y'alls to store all the plastic in here, please. At least most of the plastic. So I got 29. I've got 30 tons of plastic. This will fit 20 tons. So 20 tons of plastic in here. It will slowly start cooling down. The ambient temperature is minus 32 degrees, so it will get down there. And I've added this little temp shift plate, which kind of forces a temperature delta. All right, so let's go back over here. All right, so I need a carbon dioxide sensor, but I don't want to put it on the floor. If you put the carbon dioxide sensor on the floor, the problem with that is carbon dioxide moves irregularly. So let me see if I can show you what that looks like. So if we go down here, look at gases. See how it kind of bunches around? What you don't want is the pump turning on when it's just surrounded by oxygen. Because if it's surrounded by oxygen, then you're just pumping oxygen out of the cabin. That's not so great. If you put it one tile above, it generally means that all of the tiles below are already filled with carbon dioxide, which means you're going to be pumping carbon dioxide out of the cabin, which is good. Unfortunately, it also means that I can't put a bed on the ground floor, because if I put a bed on the ground floor, then the bed will be submerged in the carbon dioxide. And that's not a good thing, is it? No. That is bad. That's not good at all. That's quite bad. I don't like that. Okay, all right. I can fix that. Hey, it's doable. This is doable. It's all doable. We just have to do it. All right, so, yeah. I get a washroom bonus. This will be able to see the stars. So I can put something right here. What do I want to put here? Maybe if I did something like this. And then I can put something up top. So I can either put the air vent, or I can put something that hangs or something that floats. Maybe if I put the So if I put the orbital data collection, orbital thingy rutter right here, then it frees up this side of the ship. I could put a bed here. Ooh, I could put a bed. All right, so how would I do that? I would do it like this. So if I did that, yeah. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna put. Hey, he gets a bed. See, a lot of people just let their dupes sleep on the floor, but when you do that, they feel bad. They don't like it. All right, and then we're going to delete these. And we're going to come up through the bottom here, like so. All right. I'm going to have to reconfigure that. Right here. Okay, good. So then right here. Yeah, because the bed's all... Actually, okay, let's first make sure that they can get to everything. I think they'll be able to crawl up through this door. They'll be able to get to the latrine. They'll be able to get to the bed, and they'll be able to get to the telescope. Pretty sure. Let's make sure. So if you go here, can you go there? Yes, you can. All right, Bob the Builder. Good job. Excellent. All right. So that gives me a bit, but more importantly, most of the devices that I have to use are too high, two tiles high. So I couldn't, like here, if I put a platform, there's one that's only fits one tile. But here, I can put a platform. It will fit 2 tiles. Quite happy. Oh, that's a lot of space. A lot of space, let me tell you. Dupes be happy. And inside, oh, look at this. The decor is a maximum almost everywhere. 120, 120, 120. Okay, so I can put, let's say, the oxygen generator right about here. And right next to it, I'm going to put a storage bin so I can fill up the algae that the oxygen generator will require. Then over here, we're going to have the lab. We're going to have the plastic for the lab. And then I have space down. Oh my gosh. I actually have too much space now. I have conquered space. And right here in this gap, I'm going to install the thing that I need. The super thing. The, where's that? Automation. Gas detector. So when this... let's make it out of copper. When this detects carbon dioxide, it's going to turn on, it's going to turn on that pump. So when there's enough carbon dioxide to get up to the second cell, then the pump turns on and it will go ahead and pump everything out of that first layer down and out of the spacecraft, which is what I want. Wow, you know, I thought this was going to be so crowded. I can actually fit 2 dupes in here. And the cool thing is, once I get rid of the plastic slab, I can put docks for spacesuits very easily. I can basically just reconfigure this thing, and it'll be good to go. Okay, what else needs to be in here? I need power. And power is going to be provided by one of these. Hiya. It's a hamster wheel. It's a hamster wheel for my dupes. So when you detect carbon dioxide, turn that on. Excellent. Whoa, I mean, I actually have a lot of space. I have way more space than I should, actually. This is kind of cool. I'm excited. And also, I'm gonna get very close to using up every single space that's possible, without turning my spaceship into a convoluted MC Escher maze, which some people have done, and it works, but I still like it to look cool. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put the oxygen thingy. Oh, we need a table to eat, which we can do right here. Yeah, so that, and then we're going to put a mess table, because it really only needs one. And then the plastic things goes here, and the storage for the plastic goes there. Excellent. Okay, are they moving the plastic? Good, it's filled up. It's at 56.3 degrees. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and help it along. And the way we're going to help it along is we are going to fill it up with a little bit of water. Because liquid makes heat transfer go faster. All right. Oh, hey, Pixel Dreams. How you doing, man? All right. I thirst. All right, so let's go ahead and put ourselves a vent right here. Now that we know where our vent is going to be, so the lab is going to be here, we need a place to put a refrigerator, because the refrigerator is going to have our food. And I'm a hungry dupe. I likes me some berry sludge. Oh, you can make different types of food, and if you're going to be making food for your spacecraft, the #1 food, and this is why I don't let any dupe eat it, because I want to save it up as much as possible, is berry sludge. Because berry sludge does not go bad, and it improves morale. They like the taste of the sludge. I mean, who really doesn't? Sludge, right? Everyone eats sludge. All right, so I need a couple things. I need to add a power outlet, which I will do right here, like so. Where's that? Actually, yeah, I should really move this. I should put the power thing back there. But no, I'm just gonna I'm gonna do it the right way. So rocketry. Oh, here's the thing about when this little counter comes up, it means it's doing an autosave. Don't ever do any building over the autosave, otherwise it could spam it across the map. I had that happen more than once. Okay, so we're going to put a power outlet right here, made out of gold amalgam. And I'm going to have to dig this up real quick because I have to be able to get back there to finish these pipes. And now that I know where the power plug is going to be, I'm going to go ahead and use copper to connect everything. And since I have so much copper, I'm just going to go, I'm going to go crazy. There you go. And it's always good to build something into the walls just because you don't know if you might need it later. So it's, why not? It's a freebie. In the wall, if it's in the wall, it doesn't hurt your decor at all. So in the middle of a space journey, if for some reason I need to build something with refined metal, I can always deconstruct the wires that are held within the spacecraft, and it doesn't penalize me. Okay, so go ahead and build that. And then I'm going to build this, and I'm going to put a refrigerator on top of it. And that refrigerator is going to store my food. My tasty, tasty sludge. Oh, by the way, if you haven't watched the Bebop live version on Netflix, I watched the first episode. Pretty good. I mean, some choices I wouldn't have made, but I want that. I don't want it to be a shot for shot of the anime. They've reinterpreted a few of the scenes. I'm going to keep watching. I think it'll be good. Go for it, Bob the Builder. You the man. And look at this. I even have this whole thing with nothing in it. So many options. All right, you know what? I want everything in here built. Get 9. Everyone get in here. Build this thing. I am impatient. Oh, actually, I don't want to turn on the oxygen diffuser yet because otherwise they'll start filling up with algae. I would prefer to fill the ship with oxygen from the full Rodriguez, the self-powered oxygen module first, because that's cheap. Using up algae is a finite resource. I have a lot of it. I have a ton of, how much algae do I have? I've got 30.8 tons of algae, 1.5 containers full. That will last a good long time for a single dupe. But it is finite. Once I've used it up, there's no way to get more except going into space to an algae planet. So I would prefer that it first uses up the oxygen inside the pipes, which was created from water, rather than using up the algae. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add an automation deal here. Do I have space? I should. I think this thing only takes up 3. Yeah. Okay. Plenty of space. Look at that. It's so much space. Okay, so I'm going to go up and over. So this will allow me to turn off the there you go. Turn off the algae oxygen generator so that it doesn't accidentally use it. And let's go ahead and set up. Oh, see, hey, look, Rye Guy. He's using up the little hamster wheel. Look at him. He's so cute. You go, Rye Guy. While Rye Guy runs, I'm going to refresh my drink. I hope you don't mind. You know, I didn't drink before I came to the Vatican. I think it's just a cultural thing. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, you kind of learn how to. And how to appreciate it. Also, I'm at the age now that I think it's as good as it's going to get, so. All right. So that's going to be filled with plastic. That's going to be filled with algae. Let's turn this off. Ooh, look, hey, there's me. What am I doing? But look at you, little Padre SJ sitting on the telescope. Oh, I'm researching. I'm looking for planets. And Machine Ma is on my hamster wheel, providing power for me to look for planets. Good stuff. Yeah. Okay, what else do I need in here? I'm going to have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 empty spaces. That's amazing. And I've got everything I want. All right, so we're going to fill this one up with berry sludge. And it won't be quite full because I think I only have, 200,000 calories. I can fit 300,000 calories of berry sludge in one of these fridges. And I have 204. Again, early game, all these bristle blossoms, which is what you make berry sludge out of, only came late game because I finally got these pips. I got 2 of them, and I was able to have them start planting some berry sludge, or some bristleberries, and then that will. Well, actually, where's the other one? That's 1. See, look, he picked up a seed. This is how they work. They pick up a seed. Oh, stop it! Let him get that. My guys are cleaning it up too fast. 5. There you go. Do you have one in your... Normally, so when he has one in his mouth, they'll crawl along until they find a place that they can put the plant. Oh, shoot. Did one die? That would not be good. I really wanted to use a lot of them. I think one died. Oh, no, here's the other one. Hi, little Pip. Okay, Pip, I need you to go back and plant some more stuff. Why are you, why are you just chilling? You want to... Come on. Can I rename him? I think I can rename him, can I? No, it doesn't give me the option. Dang it. Otherwise, I'd call him Popo. All right. Sorry, what was I doing? Oh, that's right. This hasn't changed temperature because I need some water. And I think I've got some... If I put regular water, it will immediately turn into ice. So let's put some salt water. I think that'll work. And let's give it a 9 priority. It's probably going to spill over, but that's okay. I can deal with some water up here. So let's get back over here. All right. Padre SJ is doing his thing. Look at it. Ooh, he's finding all the... Ooh, this is the planet I can teleport to. That looks slightly radioactive. Cool, I'm going to cook my dupes. Dupes! I hope you like radiation. I also want to tell these things. You're not allowed to use the interior buildings when we're on the ground. Oh, I got to build the oxygen system. All right, so... Just like we did with the water pipes. So here's the water pipes. We wanted it to fill entirely up with water. I want to do the same thing with the gas pipes. So here we go. Maybe like this. And up. Yeah, like that. And I'm going to bridge over the top of here. And then oh no, that was my bad. Okay, so like that. Oh, I'm gonna miss one spot. I got lazy, folks. I wonder if I can fix that. Hold on. What if I go like no? Okay, so go back. Okay. And then over like so. No, can't. Still gonna miss it. Still, dang it. Okay, go back. How about? So let's approach it slightly differently. There we go. No, dang it. Close, so close. See, it's so close. No. I'm always gonna miss one. I need some of you. I need some of you Tetris folks. Oh, okay. So if I go back a bit more, there we go. Up. Nah. Dang it. So by here, I have to be heading down. So what if I do it like this? Still gonna miss one. Still always missing one. Ah, forget it. I missed one. All right, build it. Build it. Donald Hoskins makes a very astute observation. He says that when you drink often, you don't feel the need to drink to excess. This is true. We drink wine at lunch every day, and no one gets drunk because you drink a glass of wine. In fact, most of it's just bad wine. Early on, it was because wine was one of the drinks that you could guarantee didn't have any parasites in it because of the alcohol content. In fact, here's a little fun fact. You know how in the nativity story, the wise men bring gold, frankincense, and myrrh? Well, you know what gold is, and you know frankincense is an incense. It's a sweet-smelling incense. Myrrh was used to purify water. And so in the early days of Rome, you could actually add a little bit of myrrh or add a little bit of wine to water, and it would kill all the bacteria and the organisms inside the water. So it wasn't just a social thing. It was a smart thing. That's how you kept from getting sick. Because here, even with running water doesn't necessarily mean that it's super clean. It just means it's not stagnant. So even though they didn't have microbial science back then, they did realize that if you added a tiny bit of wine, even cheap wine, it would clean it up enough so that you wouldn't end up in the latrine for the next 10 days. Or dead. It was easy to die of diarrhea back then. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish this up. Oh, I'm happy with this. I'm very happy. This is happy stuff. All right, so how do I have... Oh, shoot. See, I knew this was going to happen. They've got to give this device the ability to say only deliver X amount, because they just delivered way too much. And how come the water is cold? So why are you not... what if they do this? Drop the plastic out. Does it start to cool? 56.2, so it's cooling a tiny... It's cooling very... Okay, so the best way to cool it off would be to put it on a conveyor rail. Because when it's on a conveyor rail, it just starts... Or put it on a metal tile. Okay, so let's build a metal tile underneath it, made out of copper. That'll do it. There we go. Okay, so you cool. Once it is cooled, then I can go ahead and build the plastic station in here. How hot is it? Okay, that's not bad. So 15, 27. If I can keep this around 30 degrees, I'll be very, very happy. Why is that so hot? Oh, gosh, that's not good. But what I can't have is I can't have the plastic coming in here at like 65 degrees. That would just kill everything. And by everything, I mean Padre SJ. I don't want to kill Padre SJ because I kind of like me. All right, so I need to fuel this puppy up. So let's set a couple of things. First of all, we need to set this. So that's going to be the output. And I need this. This is oxygen. And I need this. This is going to be the carbon dioxide. And again, this is very short-term use. I'm probably going to use it once or twice. And I don't want carbon dioxide to sit in the pipes because carbon dioxide actually has a relatively low freezing temperature. And if it sits in the pipe, it will turn to liquid and then it damages the pipe. And then I have to rebuild it. So I do that. So what's going to happen is it's just like the thing I did with the hydrogen in my Full Rodriguez oxygen generator. it will fill the tank, and once the tank is full, it will spill out, and then it'll just get vented into space. I don't want to do that, but I'm gonna. All right, so now oxygen's easy. I got so much oxygen. But where's my closest oxygen pipe? Okay, right down here. Down here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, oh wow, the oxygen's gonna come in super cold, which is good. All right, so bring this up. Up. There you go. And then I need to bring the carbon dioxide. And normally I would not build right next to each other because if you do that, there's no way to bridge over the pipes easily. But again, this is going to be a temporary thing. So there we go. I'm breaking my rules. Okay, where's the closest carbon dioxide? I am right now. I am pushing carbon dioxide down into, down into the oil pit, to the oil biome. So I'm going to change that. And instead of going down there, let's see, let's do that. So we're going to build it so that it goes over here. This way. And I'll fill up a storage tank. So, oh, wait, stop. Oh, yeah. Wow, this is, I hate this spaghetti. Again, temporary. This is all temporary, so Robert, don't let your OCD get in here. All right, so this goes up, and that is my carbon dioxide. And I'm gonna have to build a container for it, but preferably outside, so it doesn't have a whole lot of temperature change, because I don't want the carbon dioxide inside of here to phase change. That would be super bad. Okay. So let's add a little bit of decor right here and there, because you can't bring a pipe through a natural tile. These are all natural tiles; they have not been mined. If you put a pipe, either gas or liquid, it will break the tile, and then I'll start venting gases from my base into space, which would be bad. So I want to build the tiles. Once they've built the tiles, I can run the pipes through them. Okay. I need a snake AI? Donald Hoskins says I need a snake AI. Oh, I get it. For the when I was doing my my snake pasta. All right. So let's go ahead and why are you guys not building these? Build. As long as I'm building it, I might as well make decor out of it because this is pretty ugly up here. The base is nice and green. Green's good. Green means happy dupes. Red means not happy dupes. But again, normally it's hard to build carpeted tiles because you need a lot of reed fibers. I got a ton of reed fibers. 1,000, more than 1,000 reed fibers because I have been feeding. My waste system, a lot of people will purify water and they'll just keep purifying it and then cleaning it out of germs. I don't even bother with that. So the way my waste system works is this. I built these toilets and these showers and these sinks. It's a closed system. So it goes directly from being polluted water through the water sieve into clean water. But the clean water is germy. Look, it's 10 million germs per kilogram. That's a lot of germs. But that doesn't affect how clean the dupes get. It's a weird game mechanic. But the way it works is when this tank fills, the water sieve is no longer, let's see if it'll do it here. The water sieve is no longer able to push clean water into the tank. And so just like it does with the gas tank and the rocket upstairs, if it gets to that point, let's see if it does it, maybe towards the end here. Yep. See, it bypasses and it just feeds some of these reeds. And these reeds give me my reed fiber. Now that's a good way to, if you do it from the start of the game, it's a good way to get reed fiber because one of the oddities about the bathrooms is they generate more water than they use. So for every 50 kilograms of clean water that it uses, it generates 50.1 kilograms of polluted water, which kind of makes sense if you think about it, kind of in game mechanics. So if you just let that go, if you just use that to feed reeds, over time you just get a lot of reeds, which Everything is awesome. Okay, good. I've got my tiles here now. I can go ahead and build myself. I built myself today. All right. I need a gas shut off right about here to see if I still feel. No, I'm not gonna torment you with that. Sorry. So I need an automation switch right here for when I want to turn this thing on. But the gas, the oxygen is just gonna go. So it goes up and go. All right. While it does that, I need to use the restroom real quick, folks. So do me a favor, watch after my dupes, okay? I'm gonna put you right here. Have fun with that. I'll be right back. All right, what I miss? Aside from the fact that for some reason this pip keeps open up the same container. Bad pip. Bad pip. All right. How we doing? Okay. You know what? I'm going to bump up the priority on this a little bit because I want them to build this thing because I got to start filling that. See, the priority on over here was all 5s and 4s. There we go. And actually, I think there's... Oh, they already built all this. Oh, wait. What? Oh, yeah. Okay, so on. Good, okay. So all the carbon dioxide coming from my natural gas generators will eventually start going up instead of down. So what I'm doing with it down is when it goes down here, which is sort of the natural place for carbon dioxide, because carbon dioxide will always flow downwards, but I'm just forcing it down. I can raise slicksters down here. Slicksters are these little animals that they eat carbon dioxide and they make a very small amount of oil. But I'm also using it to make polluted water. So I've got these things which will turn clean water into polluted water and by taking away some carbon dioxide. Unfortunately, I don't have enough water down here right now. Because the only water I have is coming from here. And I had to shut it down because the level was getting way too low. So without water, I don't get polluted water. Oh, where did all this come from? Oh, no. I didn't want water mixed in with my oil. Where did water come from? There's no water down here. What? How the bloody... Not happy about that. Especially since I don't know where it came from. I have nothing here that has clean water. I have polluted water, but that's getting pumped back up. All right, well, awesome. Now my my oil is polluted, contaminated. Oh, I'll have to filter that out. That's more power. Okay, so eventually what I want to do is I do have a hot water vent right here. So right now the water is only at 45 degrees, but as I start to siphon water out of this little reservoir, it will rise, and eventually this 49, 50 degree temperature will be the same as this, where everything is 93. The more water you pull out of that, the more it heats up its surroundings. So before that happens, and I've already started the work, so I've dug down here a little bit, and this is called a water lock. It keeps gases from going one side to the other. I have to dig through all this, which includes all this slime lung, which I hate slime lung. Again, right now it doesn't do much because clay nerfed slime lung. It used to destroy your base. It would kill all your dupes, or at least incapacitate them so they could not make food, and then if you can't make food, they die. So I deal with it methodically. Some people will just go down there and they'll just dig it out, but I keep thinking that at some point clay is going to unnerf slime lung, and then the people who are playing that way are going to have dead bases. And also it's fun. I like dealing it with, again, it's a problem-solving thing. But I want to come down here when this goes dormant. So this is going to operate for, when after I analyze it, it'll probably be something like 40 cycles out of 90. And so the next time it goes dormant, I want to dig all around here. I want to insulate it so that the heat won't contaminate the surrounding area. And then I have to run cooling through here. I can use 90-degree water, but I need to cool off the oxygen a little bit because otherwise the steam will not condense. And that's no good. That's a no bueno. All right, let's go back up. Do I have... Why have you not built this? Oh, low priority. Build those. Okay. And I need you to build this. Why haven't you built this? Oh, you're building it right now. Well, you know what? Build it faster. Oh, I need power up here too. Let's just tap a little bit of power. Power is also a consistent theme in Oxygen Not Included because you never build big enough. You always need more power. And in odd places. Okay, this is almost good to go. So as soon as they finish that connection right there, come on, get that one right here. There we go. Okay, so the oxygen should start to flow. There we go. Excellent. Although, oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Like that. That's how we want that junction to look. Come on. Come on. Two more. Two more. You can do it. You can do it. One more. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to start getting oxygen up here. And good. We've got... Good. And we're getting carbon dioxide. Excellent. So now we're going to get... Let's see if we go in here. See, right now it's a vacuum, but... little racetrack. The snake is snake. That's all going to be filled up with... What is that? 1,000 grams, so 1 kilogram each. So again, about 3 cycles, 3 days worth of oxygen just in the pipes before I have to switch over to the algae. And that doesn't include the oxygen that's going to be in this cabin. So you're going to see it here. Right now it's all vacuum, and as soon as the oxygen hits the vent, there we go. So this is going to be filled with 2,000 kilograms in every tile. So if my calculations were right, as long as this works properly and it pumps out the carbon dioxide, I should be able to have a dupe last in here without even turning on the algae for about 7 or 8 cycles. Again, if my math is correct. And since I'm going to have algae, it doesn't matter because I'm going to be able to last basically forever. Let's go ahead and load up the algae. And again, I got 30 plus tons, so early game, you use algae. But then the people who haven't played this before, they just keep using algae until they run out of algae. And then when they get into the early space game, they've got no way to survive support their dupes unless they have oxalite, and that's a lot harder to make. All right, what's my plastic looking like? Plastic, please. Plastic. We're still at 55.7. There's just so much plastic. It's dropped like nothing. I'm going to have to build a special conveyor system, aren't I? I don't want to do that. Donald, this is your fault. I blame it on you. Okay, fine. I'll build a thingy and make the thing do the thing. Sheesh. Oh, these got polluted. They all have water in them now. All right, but I need cold water. Ah, look, aluminum's going. Uh-oh. See, you hear that? It means it's getting very close to going overheat. But so far, look, it's running. As long as the turbines don't go over 100, they're okay. I don't have to engage the backup cooling solution. And they're staying around 98.4. I think I can stay entirely passive with this. So right now the aluminum is at whoa. It's 642 degrees. Now look what happens. So the way I have this system is this sweeper is going to load it into this loader. The loader will put it on a conveyor rail. The conveyor rail will run over here, hit this thermosensor. I have it set if what's on the thermosensor is colder than 125 degrees, then it's going to go ahead and dump it outside. Which I've disabled because I want to make sure it works before I dump super hot metal out into the open. If not, it will run here and drop back into the chamber. But see, this is one of the weird things about how thermodynamics works in Oxygen Not Included. If it's just lying on the surface, it's going to cool very, very slowly. But look what happens as soon as I put it on a rail. So aluminum. Go. See, first of all, the turbines are turning back on. And now, look. So just a little bit of time on that rail. It went from, what was this? 633 degrees to 560 degrees. So you do that a couple of times. You just let it stay on that rail. And for whatever reason in the game, anything that's on a rail exchanges heat incredibly well. So you can use it to heat things up or cool things down. In this case, I'm using it to cool things down. It's just going to keep going and going. It's just going to keep going on this rail until eventually it cools down. Now, a lot of people have built these rail systems all the way through this chamber. The problem is I didn't have a lot of steel. I still don't have my refineries up. You can turn iron into steel by combining it with lime and refined carbon, which I have a lot of, but I could not waste the heat to make a lot of steel. So instead I made a shorter rail, and I just did it this way. So if I let this run, oh, and by the way, this is self-powered because each of these turbines is generating, 380 watts, 400 watts. So this is this just like I did with the oxygen system. This system is making all the energy that all of the equipment inside of here needs to work. So the heat of the volcano is actually driving the machinery that dissipates the heat of the volcano. And again, early on, when I first started dealing with volcanoes, what I would do is I would dump into an active system. So I had created a cooling device that used up a ton of power, and you would essentially be just dropping 2,000 watts into the system to get the temperature of the turbines, of the volcano, and of the metal down to usable temperatures. But in this case, it's passive. Costs me no power. It just costs time. And because this is only erupting for a certain amount of time, it's erupting for what? 68.8 cycles every 120 cycles. That's a lot of cycles for it to wind down. In fact, this provides far more. Look at this. I'm using, there we go, 120 watts for the loader, 120 watts for the sweeper, 10 watts for this. And it's generating almost 800 watts. Well, it is generating 800 watts. So I actually have excess power. In fact, I don't have it hooked up to anything right now, but I'm going to hook this up once I run this line down to main power, which is right here. And then the same process that is essentially giving me free metal is also going to be giving me free power. What? See, this is what I like. This is why this game is so addictive. Early on, volcanoes were something you avoided them. You saw them and you're like, oh, I can't deal with that right now. I have to build all this machinery. Now it's, when I see a volcano, I go, free power, free metal. So not only am I not spending power to refine ores into refined metal, because it pops up as refined metal, but I'm getting power to do the further refinement. So I need to turn a lot of iron into steel. Steel is like the currency until we get to thermium, which is a late game metal. With the 3 volcanoes I have on this map, basically I could run all the refining just off of the heat of those volcanoes, which is fantastic because I'm generating 800 watts down here, basically 800 watts per volcano when it's erupting, and even a little bit after, because these like right now the volcano's not erupting, but I am getting that power because it's still cooling off the metal when it's on the rail. So 800 per, it drives both the cooling system I have down in the oil biome. And the only reason why I have a cooling system down there is because the oil biome is already hot. So it gets kind of wiggy. But it can also run the refineries. The refineries are expensive. They use about 1.2 kilowatts of power. But I could actually generate more power off the heat of the refinery. So ultimately, and maybe I'll do this next time I do an episode, one of these, I'll show you how to construct a self-contained system for refining. So you will get as much energy or more out of the refining process that you put to make the refined metal, which is awesome. All right, so let's just let this run. I feel bad because right now I'm wasting a bunch of power. This power, so the 800 watts is being used to power a 10-watt light bulb. It's a little wasteful. Tesla would not approve. Uh-oh, this is close. 99, 100. Yeah, see, okay. So during the height of the eruption, see this turbine too hot? All right, so I do need to engage the supplemental cooling. But it's not so bad because, again, since I'm not, this is not iron or copper, it's not super tremendously hot. It's just really hot. Actually, if I turn this off. Come on, get down there. Get down there. Get down there. Come on, cool it, cool it, cool it. 101, 101, 101. I don't want that. If this hits 106, it actually will start to melt things. No, we're okay. It's noisy. Okay, so it's not good, but it's not bad. It's not terrible. All right, so how do I look inside here? Yeah, this is good to go. Look, I've got water. I need water up here. I've got all the oxygen. Hello, snaky snake. Oh my gosh. That's cool. All right, so let's get some water up here. And again, water is still a problem, even late game for me, because they didn't provide me any cool slush geysers, really. Wait, where'd the plastic go? Oh, it's still here. It's still 50. Wait, the plastic got warmer? Okay, there is a super easy way to cool down the plastic. You build with it. So if you build with the plastic, it will cap at 45 degrees. So it deletes that heat. And then it cools off the building, and then you deconstruct the plastic building. But I don't want to do that. That's just... I would rather run it through a conveyor system. All right, but first I need water. And this well is just about out. But... yeah, okay, why not? So let's... This was the system I used to fill the aluminum volcano cooler. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and bring it up. Oh wait, I gotta. I can get to right about. No, shoot. Yeah, Donald, I love this game. It's so much fun. Seriously, I've played so many other games, but I keep coming back to this one. All right. I mean, during the pandemic. Okay, so I gotta insulate it from here, otherwise it's gonna freeze, which would be bad. Okay, so over, up, and like that. There we go. And I also need to create a dump right here for wastewater. Good. Now, normally I would want to install a solar panel, but I think I am out of... Yeah, I can't. I don't have any more space. Not enough. Yeah. Or maybe... Hold on. Can I put one? I cannot. Actually, I don't even have any glass. I haven't set up my... This is odd for me, because normally by cycle 300... I'm ready to go. I'm already on other planets. But because I let it run overnight, it means I have a lot of materials. Like, I have 1,000 tons of igneous rock. Most everything is dug out. Most of the research is done. But it also means that I haven't done a lot of the benchmarks I normally do. I kind of like it this way, though. Especially now that I've got this. It just appeals to my OCD. That is too hot. All right, I'm going to have to run a cooling system. I was hoping that this would be passive. But that's okay. It's not overpressurizing, so I'm still getting the aluminum. It's just causing havoc with those turbines. All right, so I've got... Oh, let's fuel it. I think I've got carbon dioxide up here now, don't I? So what I should probably do is to turn this off. If I remove this pipe, then all the carbon dioxide gets directed up here. But I don't think I need a lot, so let's see. How much do I need to fuel this? Donald, I have not played Kerbal Space Program. Is it the same? Is it similar? Is it more realistic? Is it more fun? And I mean, this is my go-to. When I just want to stop working, I want to stop thinking about things and just do some puzzles. This is it. This, as they say in the Vatican, is my shiz. That's what they say. No, really. No, seriously. That's what they totally say that. All right. Please build my pipes. I really appreciate water. Because as soon as I get the water... Actually, yeah, I'm going to have to cut that carbon dioxide pipe because I need all of it. Sorry. Sorry if this causes issues. Please cut that. Anyways, folks, how was your week? While I'm waiting for my dupes to complete their tasks, Mine was not great, but I'm hoping yours was good. Do something fun, watch something cool, eat something fantastic, talk to a friend. All those things are wonderful. Okay, so now all of my carbon dioxide is venting up. Now this could be dangerous because if I screw up and it backs up, then these get blocked, and those are my power generators. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an overflow valve. And the overflow valve, it works just like the other overflow valves that we've created. It's just right here, and I'm going to go to event. And because it's emptying out in the space, it should be no problem. And actually, it's not. If I was up here, so right here, what I'm going to get is I'm going to get little clumps of carbon dioxide ice, which I probably shouldn't do, but why not? Oh, Donald. So Donald tells me that the Kerbal Space Program is just like this, except you deal with like physics, like real world physics, because this has its own physics, but they're in-game physics. All right, so if this overflows, it's just going to start dumping out into the open, and it'll keep my my power generators from going offline. By the way, if you're in the chat, you can talk back to me, folks. I am sitting and I'm watching all my dupes while they are eating. Right, what do I got? Oh, you know what we could do while we're waiting for that? We can pick a dupe to send through the teleport. We haven't teleported yet. Oh, see, again, water. Where is the water coming from? Oh my goodness, what is going on? I don't have anything that generates steam that's running, so where is this coming from? Is it hot? No, it's room temperature. Where? What the? It's everywhere. This has got to be someone was carrying ice, like a lot of ice, but I don't have any ice. I don't have any ice commands. I'm not storing any ice. I'm storing polluted ice, but this is not polluted water. So what's the dealio, bro? I don't know. I mean, normally when you see water like that, it normally means either someone was carrying. Dupes have this nasty habit. If they're doing a task and then their shift ends, they'll just drop what they're carrying. So if they were carrying ice, it would just fall. But I don't know where this is coming from. My tanks aren't leaking, but I keep having to mop up clean water. That's bugging me. Like, how would it even get here? It would have to drip. Okay, so it would have to drip straight down. Okay, so it's from straight up here. Oh, from here. Why would that have been leaking? Okay, so above it would be what? Ice. So maybe some ice from up here fell, or something melted and then it pooled up on top of the door. And when they opened the door, it fell down. There it is. Fell down and then over here and contaminated my polluted water, which I know is a funny statement to say. Oh, why is this going? Oh, that's not good. Yeah, okay. All right. Anyways, is my rocket full? Almost. Keep filling. I'm actually going to turn that off and let it accumulate. And then, do I have water? Probably. Let's see. Let's go down. Let's go down. Let's go down. Let's go down. Get down. Yeah, good. All right, so let's fill the tank. Now, at some point, I'm gonna have to start cooling this down again. This nasty. Ugh. I mean, it's a great source of water, but you got to cool it down if you're going to use it in the base. Now, the Rodriguez can actually use 99-degree water. It's fine. I built this thing to cool down the gases. But again, this is in-game physics. Once you've turned a liquid like water into gas, the gas retains like 1/10 the amount of heat energy, so it's much easier to cool off the gas than it is to cool off the liquid. But I would like cool liquid for things like the rockets, and for when I'm feeding crops, because I actually do want to grow a bunch of bristleberries, but feeding them 98-degree water, that's a non-starter. I tore out the automation system here because it wasn't working. But the way this had been working, this was from the slush geyser down in the bottom near the oil biome, and it would fill this thing up with, -4-degree polluted water, and then you see the oxygen coming off, the oxygen and the hydrogen coming off the Rodriguez is somewhere in the vicinity of 70 to 90 degrees, depending on the temperature of the water I'm feeding into it. And then by the time it got through here, it's cooling down to 35 and 40. But when it was cold water, when it was actual cold water, it would cool it down to like 20. And I had an automation system so that when it hit 30 degrees, it would open this door, and it would start feeding the hotter water to the reed fibers here, which needs, if you feed it cold water, they'll stop growing. So I needed to heat it up. So it was a nice little system. It pumped up cold water, it cooled down the hot gases, and then when the water was no longer able to do that job, it was used to feed the reed fibers, which gave me all those reed fibers. Unfortunately, I have turned the tank into something else. It is also now the tank for storing the wastewater from the petroleum generator, and this is outputting water at, 94 degrees, because it's a combination of the environmental temperature and the temperature of the petroleum that it's receiving, and it's hot down here. It's 90. I'm going to start cooling this thing off, and so the tank has gone from -6 degrees to, okay, I'm going to call it, I'm going to say 20 degrees? 12. Okay, it's not super hot, but it's not cold anymore. And when this is erupting, and it's dormant right now, and it won't be, oh my gosh. Yeah. See, look at this. This is what I'm talking about when you were really set up to die on this map. It's only active for less than 40 cycles out of 93, so it's inactive far longer than it's active. It doesn't erupt a whole lot of polluted water at -10 degrees. So it wasn't a great cooling source to start off with, and now that I'm dumping this into it, it's not great again. Now, eventually this will get up to about 30 degrees, and at that point I'm going to push the entire tank into the reed fibers, and I'm going to get, that will be worth about, it's probably about 600 reed fibers, because I'm going to want to start outfitting the other planets. Now this is dormant. This is okay, but I've got a bunch of hot, oh, it's already cooled off. It's 152 degrees. Darn it. All right, well, let's go ahead and get it out of here. So push the iron onto the rails. It might be just warm enough to get the turbines a tiny bit. Yeah, just a little bit. So by the time they come out, they've lost 10 degrees. That's not much. And then the copper volcano, is it dormant? Yeah, it's also dormant. And I think, yeah, all of this, it's all gone. So not bad. I've got this. The brine's at -4.1 degrees because I've got this thermal aqua tuner, and it keeps this nice and cool. And what this does is it allows me to, like, the copper's at -2, -3 degrees, and the iron's at -2. I also had a bunch of sweepers that have been working, and it's dumped literal tons of everything from clay to coal to fossil. I've got 100 tons of fossil that I'm going to be turning into lime, and that lime combines with refined carbon and steel. That's a decent amount of oil. I mean, I'm not overly scared. If I have to, I can start. The way that this system works is I've got this cool slush generator, but again, not much. It's not a whole lot. It only erupts for 55.6 cycles out of every 109. And it's not a lot. It doesn't erupt a lot. So I've got this little reservoir. It's dormant right now. Yeah, a little reservoir of cool, cold brine, 7.5 degree, minus 7.5 degrees, that dumps it into this tank. When the volcanoes are erupting, and it cools it all down. When the water gets above about 10 degrees, this will turn on. This is a desalinator, and it will suck the cooler water out as cold water. It has to be above zero, because if it's not above zero, when the brine turns into water, it will immediately freeze and break the pipes. But then that goes up into these tanks, and then it feeds the oil wells, which gives me petroleum, but also it cools off the equipment. See, so as it goes through, you see how it has these radiant pipes. So the water, the cold water, will actually soak up some of the heat from the oil refineries, which are right now kind of hot. It will also soak up the oil from the petroleum generator, which can't get above 125 degrees. If it gets above 125 degrees, it will damage itself. So without that running, these are just getting hotter and hotter and hotter. So eventually, I'm going to have to stop running the petroleum generator, because it will overheat and melt. Unless I can get water. If I can get clean water down here, then I can run it through the aqua tuner, cool it down, and that basically makes this self-sustaining. Right now, I have to shut it down whenever this is dormant. Otherwise, it won't make it to the next cycle. Yeah. Okay, so I said I wanted to get into space. Let's see. Are we ready to launch this puppy? Then I can call it a night and wish for a better week. All right, let's do that. Do we have water up here? Oh, not yet. Why is the water not flowing? Oh, because I haven't sent it. Okay, so let's shut this down. And let's send up... Oh, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128, 129, 130, 131, 132, 133, Actually, that might be a little less. But let's see. Should get me most of the way there. I think there's 60. I can't remember. I might have counted that wrong. Oh, no, there's 60. No, it should be the same as the oxygen tubes. All right, it should be coming in right here. And it's coming in at what, 20 degrees, 22 degrees? So that should act as a natural coolant. Excellent. Look, everything's nice and cool. And we want it filled all the way to this last segment. If not, we'll send up a bit more water. Oh, and we want to turn off... grounded. We want to turn off access because we don't want them using the facilities. Oh gosh, I way undercounted. Okay, let's send up a bunch more. My name is Humpty, pronounced with a fumpty. Oh, ladies, how I like to funk thee. And all the rappers in the top 10, please allow me to bump thee. I'm standing tall, y'all, so just like Humpty Dumpty, you're gonna fall when the radios pump me. Okay. That's probably too much. That's okay. It'll just stay outside until it lands, and then it will load in the new stuff. Now, the cool thing, so they added in the latest patch, it used to be you had to find a place to store this, either in one of the tanks, which I don't have because the carbon dioxide engine won't support them. Oh, shoot. I am wasting carbon dioxide right now. Yeah, it's just going straight out. So the tank's full. Or you just had to sit and have your duplicants sit in urine, which I did not like. But this, when it's in space, it lets you dump water and gas straight into space. So again, yeah, you waste resources, which is that's a verboten thing. Oni players don't like wasting anything because you can reuse pretty much everything in the game. And Boop. All right. So I am full. I am ready to fly. I've got food. I've got... Oh, I don't have the plastic. I did not cool down the plastic, did I? It's still at what? 55 degrees. Why? Okay. All right. You know what? We're going to do this the cheap way. I'm sorry. I didn't want to have to do this, but we're just going to build with it. And here you go. So build. And then we're going to have to destroy it after it's cooled down. Man, I should have... So right here, this is... Where is it? Next to the aluminum one. This is actually a... Oh, it's an erupting. A cool steam vent. So I want to use this to supply power, water to the full Rodrigo, to the oxygen generator, which is over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a cooler, which will provide supplementary cooling to my turbines. Uh-oh, this is... Oh, I think this is going to be overpressure. This is not good. Oh, no. If it goes over pressure, it means I'm losing aluminum. Don't. Because overpressure at the very start of the process, I don't like that. That's super not good. And the aluminum is staying liquid way longer than it should. That should be flashing into debris. Oh, that's not good. All right, so, okay. So I want to use this, but I have to cool it off a little bit. So I'm going to create a cooling system. I'm just going to use that to cool off the plastic. I did not build it because I am a lazy person. All right. So good. See, when it gets first built, it's 45 degrees, and then because it's on these cold surfaces, it immediately starts to cool. So I'm going to let it cool a little bit more. And let's build another layer. I'm going to need a lot of this. This is like such the ghetto way to do it. It's not elegant at all, but I want to do this because I want to call it a day. But I don't want to call it a day until I'm in space. Literally, I'm going to send Padre SJ into space. -6. Okay, so now what we can do is when it gets down to a nice cooler temperature, I can just deconstruct it, and then I've got cold plastic. And then what I'll do up here, I will say load this up with plastic, but only load it up with the plastic that I select. Sweep only. There you go. And so after I've deconstructed this stuff, what's cold? Still, I want everything in the negatives because I've already made a couple mistakes. I need something to suck away some of the heat in the spacecraft. Oh gosh, these are already slowing down. That's not good. Oh, the top layer is not cooling at all. Oh, I forgot. It's actually a good insulator. Dang it. That's my bad. Don't do that. Stop. Don't build that. Dupes! You're supposed to be smarter than I am. Ooh. Yeah, it's not cheap, but it's exactly Donald. See, here's the thing. There are so many cheap ways to do it in the game. But I kind of like, it's fun to make a process that you can automate. My favorite part is, yeah, actually, you extrude it near a vacuum, and it basically does the same thing. But see, this right here, this structure, this was hard to dig out, by the way. There were actually zombie spores in here. I've never seen zombie spores outside of the oil biome, so this was a pain in the butt. But this is going to be a hot box. So I'm going to seal this off and vacuum it. This will be where the support equipment goes. So the cooling turbine is going to be over here. Then inside here goes all the hot equipment. I'm going to have 4 full-time plastic generators plastic refineries. I'm going to have 4 refineries that are pumping out nothing but steel, all with sweepers. So everything's automated. You basically just need a dupe to come in there and push the button. Everything gets loaded up automatically. Everything is shipped in and out automatically. Over here, there's going to be a secondary pool for cooling off hot material, hot plastics, hot metals. I'm also going to put 2 glass generators in here. Those generate a lot of heat. And what else goes into the hot box? And the kilns. So all the kilns, and again, it's going to be supported by sweeps. So everything is automated. You push a button. Actually, not the kilns don't even require dupe interaction. You just tell it what it wants, and the sweepers will deliver. It creates the material, and then the sweepers take it away. So normally I have that set up by about turn 80 or so, but the problem was, again, it was so hot and there was so little access to cooling. Oh, and by the way, there's only one thing in early game that provides power. There's no hydrogen vent here. There was very little coal until I got way, way down. It's this. One single natural gas geyser. Now, the cool thing about it is it's got a very long eruption period, 138 cycles out of 185. So it's only going dormant for about 40 plus cycles at a time, which is why I was able to get this nice big room. This is perfectly sized. When I was in early game, it would go up to about 19 kilograms. And then right before the dormancy ended, it would be down to about 4 kilograms. So it's just about the right size to capture everything coming out of that geyser. And that drives all of these, of course. But that was the only energy source. Normally I get hydrogen. So all the hydrogen I have comes off the Rodriguez. There is no vent for me to tame. So I was so limited on power that I couldn't make the hotbox. I did the calculations. If I had made the hotbox, I couldn't run it. It would basically just sit there. I could run like 1 or 2 of the machines. But the thing with a hotbox, and you know this, you've got turbines at the top, and you fill it with steam. So the steam pulls the heat away from the machines to keep them from breaking. But that means you need enough heat to keep creating that steam. And then it runs the turbine, so you get back a lot of energy from running the equipment. But if you don't run enough equipment at the same time, you'll never be able to either make the steam or maintain the steam. And so I did the calculations, and it wasn't enough. I wouldn't be able to run it. Once I get more of the petroleum generators online, I can run the hotbox just fine. But for me to get the petroleum generators online, I need to get a water source down there, because otherwise I'm going to use up all that oil too quickly. And I also need a way to cool those petroleum generators to keep them from melting once I'm running them full time. The alternative is I get the nuclear power plant up. Once I get that up, I mean, that's what, like 10 plus 12 kilowatts. That basically, that's everything. I mean, that becomes because that's always running. Unlike the others, once you turn on the nuclear power plant, it's always on. And you can shut it down at the refuel cycles, but it's going to run until it runs out of fuel. It's also kind of dangerous if you don't build a lot of safety mechanisms, because it actually does melt down. It's spectacular to watch. If it goes without water for even a moment, it goes into meltdown. The fuel actually shoots out of the reactor and creates corium, which is super hazardous. And it will actually destroy structures. So I surround it with bunker tiles, which are the same tiles you use to stop meteors in the game, so that it contains the explosion. It shouldn't happen, but again, you get something like a shovel will vomit on one of the cooling loops, and suddenly it's not cooling, and it only takes a moment. Or it gets too hot. One of the things that happens is people don't put enough water into their reactors, or they don't preheat it enough, and you get low pressure. And so at low pressure, the turbines aren't running efficiently, so the heat builds up. And if the heat goes above, is it 400 degrees, you have a similar meltdown. So it's tricky, but the nice thing about it is once it's running, and if you put a sweeper next to it to keep supplying it with uranium, it's the only power source you're going to need. Oh, and this is duplicatable. So I've actually run this with 2 reactors. So you can mirror this on the other side and just put reactors side by side and really be generating all your power. Now the other thing is, once I get the main power line up here and I get the hot box running, I can cover the top of it with solar panels, and that's going to be a nice little supplement to my power generation. Woohoo! Dunn wants to know how the Vaticats are. The Vaticats are quite well. And actually, Popo was in my lap today, and she wouldn't get out of my lap. I had to go back to work. I felt so bad to move her. I picked her up, and she just started going. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And I keep getting people asking, when am I going to bring them inside? If it was up to me, they would be inside cats long ago. But, I live in a community, and I can't just do what I want. I make fun of Jesuits who do that. Okay, so let's delete this. All right, so let's get this plastic in the ship because I want to get out of here. I want to get into the space. I don't like doing this. There are some players like Francis John. I love watching him, and Brothgar. Both of them, their way of playing, and I'm not demeaning it. I love watching their playthroughs. They destroy everything. Their thing is they rip out every natural tile and they make their own. I like playing with the biomes, so I actually kind of keep the biomes, especially the cool biomes. I try to preserve them as much as possible. But even like this, between a swamp biome and the rocky biome, volcanic biome, I'll try to stay within the limits of what each one does, because I like to be able to look back at it later on and know what was where, rather than just see everything's been replaced by 4 space floors. Oh gosh, these things are really not happy. But see, this is why I put this little auxiliary cooling loop. I just kind of pass a little bit of coolant through there, and we're good to go. And this is liquid locked, so I can get back in here. This is just hydrogen, and then I just pump it back in. This is also liquid locked, but I wouldn't want to open this because once you let that steam out, all sorts of bad things happen. So I can get back in here to change it if necessary. All right, let's go back up. What do I got? I got plastic at minus 28 degrees. That's what I got. All right, sweep this up, dupes. This is your jam. Woo! Oh, wait. Whoa. I just thought of something. I just gave sweep commands to Regolith, and that means they're going to deliver it here, which would be super bad. Yeah, don't do that. That would be super bad because I'd have a bunch of freezing Regolith inside the base. I already did that once. I don't want to do it again. I think I have another one set like that down here. Yeah, please don't do that. This is another issue because a lot of the automation commands, you forget what you've set, and then you do something like you do a wide sweep, and suddenly you are sweeping in stuff that you don't want to be sweeping. All right, good. I think those are the only 2 places that have catch-alls. Oh, and by the way, so in a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll build a lot of containers, a lot of these little storage bins. This was literally the first cycle. I don't use these anymore. Everything is dumped into here. It's central. I can keep it cool. But more importantly, it means I don't really have to sort anything. The dupes go to one place to get what they want. Unfortunately, it does mean debris causes you take a little bit of hit for debris. Like, for example, there's debris down here. So, like, yeah, minus 148 for all this debris. That's a lot. That's a lot of negative. In that one spot, it's also negative. It's negative 1009. Any dupe that goes in there is having a very bad day. But debris effect is very short-lived. See, it's one tile all around. And they don't ever go down there because there's a ladder here, so they just go over the top, and they can reach down 3 tiles. So it's a nice, easy way to get all of your stuff in one place. I have got one pile here, and I've got another pile down here in this place. And the only reason why this stuff is in containers is because I wanted to spread it out. It was going to be a big room, but like right here, this pile is all the stuff that the sweepers have picked up around the floor. So I dug this entire biome out over to the abyssalite layer. So there's nothing useful left in here. Maybe a little bit there because I didn't want to collapse that wall. Actually, now that I've got water over here, I'm just going to dig that out. Yeah, all the way to the layers. And I still have to sweep over here, but everything gets dumped into this tank where it becomes nice and cool instead of 90 degrees, where if I accidentally build with that, it's now messing up my base. And it also gives my dupes 2 nice, easy spots to get basically any resources that they might need. All right, let's get back to the plastic because I want to get into space. The dupes need to go into space. Fertilizer. I should name one of my dupes Elon Tusk. Uh-oh, they swept the regolith. Okay, guys, where'd you put the regolith? Just look for the freezing container. See, this was not a mistake. Early on, I swept a bunch of regolith and dirt, freezing dirt into here, because this was where I was growing all the mealwood that was keeping my dupes alive, and they were getting too hot, so that's how I cooled them down. Forget it. There'll be some place in the base that's super cold. That's okay. I can live with it. It's better than hot. Deconstruct all this. Deconstruct. Guys, I need you to sweep this, please. Come on, dupes. Time to earn your keep. You're costing me time and money. See, they're like everybody else. They've realized that they don't really want to work. Why? Snazzy suits in the dump pile. Yeah, everything goes into the dump pile. Literally everything goes into the dump pile. I kind of like it. It's absurd, but it works. Okay, you have not put any plastic in here. This is top priority, dupies. Oh, I think he's hurting from radiation. That's not good. Hey, guys, why are you not... Okay, finally, someone's putting plastic away. Excellent. How much plastic is left here? 15 tons. You've only done a quarter of it, dupes. Work faster. All right. Do the next layer. Build it, cool it, break it down, put it in the ship. Build it, cool it, break it down, put it in the ship. Yeah, I know. It's not super efficient. Yeah, so they added radiation in one of the patches a couple of months back. I actually kind of like it. One of the research items requires radiation right here. And so this is like the super compact way to do it. Basically, the wheezeworts, which is their cooling plants, they give off significant amounts of radiation, 439 rads per cycle. But I can also supplement it with this. I've got this little radiation lamp that I can turn on. And when I do, so now we're at 919 rads per cycle, which is, it's a way to get radiation more quickly. Right now it's off because I'm lacking the data blocks, so I can't do the last bits of research. And these do suck down quite a bit of power and generate quite a bit of heat, which I could not afford if I didn't have to. So, yeah. All right. How we doing, dupes? Are we happy? I noticed that there's more plastic that's gone, so that's good, right? Means you put in the ship. Please tell me you put in the ship. Oh no! Tell me they didn't drop it down below. That would really piss me off. They dropped it down below. Well, okay. Not them. Me. I told them to drop it off below. Dang. Me and my automation. Okay, I gotta go tell it not to do that. That's awesome. Well done. Good job, Robert. Yeah, see? They dumped the plastic. And they're dumping... Oh, no, they're dumping the mafic rock, too. Forget it. Don't dump the plastic anymore, please. That's a problem. Okay. All right. And I think down here I have plastic as well, don't I? That's... No, that's off. Okay, those are all off. Okay, so now the plastic they dump should be going straight into the ship. That should be the only bin for plastic. Unless I have another one, right? Is this manual sweep? Is not. All right. So, you know, sometimes it's bad dupes and sometimes it's bad users. Don Hoskins says, I was watching one of the streams where the rocket took off and flooded the enclosure with green fog. Yeah. So the radiation rocket is my favorite. It's a nuclear rocket. It runs on rad bolts. It's fantastic because one of the outputs of this, when this reactor is running, is nuclear waste. And if you use the infinite compression trick, you can squeeze like 100,000 kilograms into a tiny spot. And when you do that, it creates an incredible amount of radiation. So I can run all my spaceships off of that. It's basically running off of a disposable waste product. It's excellent. It's also super hazardous to dupes. If they get in the way, I mean, at that level, it's an instant kill. So you end up spending a lot of time building safety mechanisms to make sure they're not in the blast area. They're not anywhere near the rad bolts. You know, dupe safety 101. At least the plastic is cold. Oh, it's a little too cold. It's minus 28 degrees. I went from 60-degree plastic to minus 30-degree plastic. I am not a good player. Okay, all right. Dig it up and load it on the ship. Let's go. Come on. Okay. Before I play again, I am going to have the cooling mechanism in place so that we don't have to be doing this all the time. All right. Dig it up. Dig it up. Dig it up. Dig it up. High priority. Okay. I want to see where you go when you put away this plastic. Okay. You pick it up. You're going to go up, right? You're going to go up. You're going to... Yeah! That's what I want. Oh. Get more. Get more. Yeah, these guys are getting radiated pretty badly. Let's see, what kind of radiation exposure do they have? They don't have any blocking. That's not good. How much absorbed radiation? 6.82 rads. And because they're spending so much time up here, they're not getting the nice decor that I created for them in their main base. It's gone from 120 down to like 3.5. That's all right. If they get stressed, they start doing bad things. Like they'll start vomiting or breaking stuff. You know, like regular people. Right, these are all cold now. You can go ahead and dig all this stuff up, please. Thank you. Do that right away. That'd be excellent. And once that's broken up, I need to load it on the ship. Okay, break it up. Break it up. You know what? Break everything up. Break everything up. Well, you know, Ellie, if you did the work down here, you wouldn't be out in the middle of Radiation Central. Hey, Gareth. Oh, you play Oni as well. Yeah, no, I love this. I am addicted to this game. I am truly addicted to this game. I'm going to show you something. I shouldn't, but... How many hours have I played? Let's find out, shall we? Okay. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Okay, again, remember, a lot of this is just letting it run. So I like to set things up and let it run. It makes me think ahead to see what the dupes might do. But I have played for 2,757 hours. In the last 2 weeks, it's been running for 178 hours. Oh, I mean, oh gosh, I probably should show that. It really looks like this is all I do, but it's just because this game, there's so much of it that's like this. It's just waiting for dupes to finish their tasks. So you leave it running. That's how I got the base clean, because anyone who's played this game knows that when you first create your base, it's littered with debris. And so you leave it running for hours, and you just tell all your dupes, clean it up, clean everything up. Oh, that's a lot of hours. I mean, okay, even though maybe only 5% of those hours was me actually playing, that's still a lot of processing time. Oh, gosh. Okay, how come this is only going up by a very little? I need you to deliver the plastic faster. Oh, sheesh. Now, if I had just done this, what would have happened is it would have filled this up with 60-degree plastic. And then this entire thing, after like 4 or 5 cycles in space, it would get so hot that things would start breaking. Which you generally don't want. But look, here's the cool thing. The water is nice and cool. It's at 23, 24 degrees. So it cooled everything down. And the oxygen too. The oxygen, oh, well, now it's not. Remember, oxygen, because it's so much less dense, the physics of the game means that gas is cool, or gases transfer a lot less temperature. Yeah. So like I will use a hydrogen cooling loop for something that just needs to move around a little bit of heat. But if I need to move around a lot of heat, it has to be a liquid cooling loop. All right, come on. Fill it up. Fill it up, dupes. Fill it up. Okay, well, see, I keep telling you to do this and you're not doing it, and it's hurting my feelings, dupes. It makes me feel like we're not part of the same team. All right, there we go. Yeah, some people mine crypto. I mine regolith. Mining crypto on a home PC is silly, unless it's like a proof of concept type thing, or you're doing an altcoin. It uses up so much energy, it's ridiculous. And okay, I know I'm gonna piss off some crypto bros who end up watching this, and I'm sorry. I get it. Crypto is it's an unsecured financial instrument. Now, that's fine. It is open to speculation, and it can make a lot of money. I have actually made quite a bit of money off of crypto. But those people who are saying that it's unlike anything ever don't remember that we used to have junk bonds and junk stocks. That's exactly what that is. It's a speculative tool. There's no intrinsic value. And look, I understand the theory that this is what's gone into the creation of the. I get it. But it's not a fiat currency. It's not. Doesn't have the backing of a nation state. I'm not saying it's worthless. Again, if you're getting upset because I've said that, stop and just listen. It's okay to be excited by the promise of cryptocurrency. What it's not okay is to hand wave over all the issues around using a cryptocurrency market as it currently exists. It is so power intensive. And essentially it's enabled a generation of crypto bros, it's horrible. It's horrible to watch. All things in moderation. I don't what bothers me is when I see people who think that because they've made money off of something, therefore it must be real. It's not how it works. All right, but back to the game. Sorry, I didn't want to pontificate there. Okay, I'm close. You know what? I've got enough. I got 7 tons of plastic. So let me do one more round here. As soon as they clean these up, because if they don't clean these up, they're just going to use this to build the plastic again. Go get it. Okay, so where are you going with that regolith? I gotta follow you. So you're going down, down, up. Oh no, I forgot about this one. Oh shoot. That's right. These are still enabled. Ooh. Okay, let me turn these off. Okay, so if I turn that off, where do you go? Is there someplace else that I forgot about? Okay, you're going. Where are you delivering that regolith? Oh, you're not. You dropped. Okay, good. So we're good. We're good. Oh, what's this? That part of the base is going to get really cold. Yeah, Donald, exactly. When people hear me talk about the issues with cryptocurrency, they think that I'm either attacking them or I'm trying to say that it doesn't make sense. I get it. I understand speculative financial tools. But for people to think that it's like the combination of true believer and ignorance is what bothers me about some of the crypto bros. Not all of them. Some actually understand what it is. If you understand what it is, fantastic, more power to you. But for some people who think they're causing a revolution because they're investing in crypto, that's silly. Gareth, yeah, 300 cycles. I normally try to do 400 cycles and I stop. So this one, I took the 150 cycles and I let it run overnight. I just wanted to see what happened. And the dupes, they actually did a good job and no one died. So I queued up properly enough that no one... Uh-oh. This is what happens when you let it get too hot. Oh, it truly got too hot. Yeah. Okay, that's a problem. All right, so what we have to do, I have to get back in there, which means I'm going to break the vacuum. Because if I don't, it's just going to keep overpressurizing. Ooh, that's not good. Oh, and this is going to break too. This is also going to break. That's super not good. And actually, I don't even have the steel to repair it, do I? I've got only 15 kilograms of steel. All right, so a bunch of this stuff is going to break. That's okay. That's fine. It's still going to be generating aluminum. I'll have to get in there at the next dormancy cycle, which comes in 44.8 cycles. All right, but back to the spacecraft. See, I should what I should have done is I should have filled the alternate cooling loop. If I had finished the alternate cooling loop, that never would have happened. That's my bad. Plastic. I need plastic. Do I have enough plastic? I think I do. Let's see. 8.9 tons. Yeah, you know what? Run it. Okay, so let's go ahead and build ourselves a little station here for orbital data collection. Let's go ahead and power it up like so. And let's give it high priority. And once we've got that, we need to select the dupe we're going to send into space. So who do we got? So Padre SJ is probably the best researcher. Yeah, he's got a science. He's maxed out on science of 30. But I also need someone who can do machinery. Oh, 22 for machinery, not bad. And his skills are... Oh, why did I give him farming? So I'm probably going to run him through the skill scrubber. Yeah, Donald says, remember when I said how breaking that seal would be, how bad it would be? Yeah, it's still going to be bad. But because I've liquid locked it, I kind of knew I'd have to get back in there at some point. Again, the problem was I didn't have the hot box up. So the only way I could make steel is by sacrificing some of the cold water I had. I had very little cold water. So and honestly, I've already got aluminum and iron, and iron is the big one. I mean, I've got copper and iron was the big one because iron is what I turned into steel. So aluminum was a bonus. It's still going to collect. It's still going to erupt. And actually, if I wanted to cool it off, I do have a way that I could just dump water in there to keep all the other equipment from breaking. But then I'd have to deal with all that steam, and I don't want to do that. So I'll just let it break. So I'm going to skill scrub Padre SJ, because once he gets into the into the spacecraft, he's going to lose a lot of his natural morale bonuses, and I don't want him getting sad. Where's my skill scrubber? All right, Padre SJ, guess what? We're going to shake you like a Polaroid picture. Shaking, shaking, shaking like a Polaroid picture. There you go. And I am down to 6.4 kilograms of gas. And, let's turn up the hydrogen generator. This is getting close to max. These vents can go up to 20 kilograms. I could expand the storage space of the hydrogen room here, but no real need, because it's not like it's not like that's ever going to be a primary power source. This battery controls the gas generators, and they kick in at 35 and 70, and this is the hydrogen generator. Okay, so what I'll do is I will actually increase this to 36. So this is it's gonna kick off before the gas generators, and it's gonna go up to the same point. That should reduce the pressure. I should probably also run a automation wire from this last tank here, so that if this ever... Oh, no. I should run an atmospheric... That's what we're going to do. We're going to run a Atmos sensor made out of copper. And we're going to run a automation wire across like so. So that if this tank ever gets to 19 kilograms, it just starts running the hydrogen generator. And that's to keep it from going solid. Because if it goes solid at 20 kilograms, the problem is then there's no place for hydrogen to be stored. And if there's no place for hydrogen to be stored, then this pipe goes solid. This will slowly fill up until it's all the way up back here. Then this will report, like these are, pipe blocked. Oxygen, it's okay for it to be pipe blocked, because it just means I'm not using that oxygen. But if the hydrogen pipe gets blocked, then bad things happen. Hydrogen actually starts to come down into this area, and these will start sucking hydrogen into the base, which is super not good. I mean, it's wasteful, but also it messes things up, like plants. This is not good. So what I want is at 19.5 kilograms, it will turn on those hydrogen generators, and that should be able to reduce the load. I locked them out. Let me open this up. So now my boys can get in there and build that, please. Come on, dupes now. Hey, there we go. Bob the Builder. I can always count on Bob. Bob was about to build it, and his break time happened. So, like, Bob the Builder is union. He's definitely union. There we go. Give it one more. One more. There we do. Good job, dupe. All right, let's close that door. Wow, 34 kilograms of hydrogen in there. Okay, so send me a green signal if it's above 19. Oop. 19. There you go. All right. So if it ever hits 19, so rather than going solid, it's just going to turn on the hydrogen generators, even if the batteries don't need it, and it will just burn it off. All right. So I think this is built, yeah. This is ready to go. We've got gas pressure. We've got gas in the pipes. And We've got water in the pipes. We've got power. Everything's connected. We've got a power generator. We've got a battery. This is looking for carbon dioxide. The bed is up here, so I don't have to worry about suffocating. When Padre comes in, I'll have him take off his suit. This becomes his bed. That becomes his mess table. That's his food. He can reach the rocket control station. Yeah, we're good to go. All right. Oh, uh-oh. What got entombed? What's entombed? What's entombed? Ah! Oh, man. This is making all... Oh, good. Look. All the... Wait. What was... I made something out of lead in here? I didn't have any lead. I would never put lead inside of a volcano room. What the... What was lead? Oh, was it a pipe? No. Oh, and those are copper. Okay, I must have accidentally dropped a piece of lead in here. It got so hot it melted. Everything is on fire. Everything is burning. Okay, but because I double walled it and I have a vacuum here, that heat is not escaping into the base. If the base was receiving 365 degrees steam, things would be toasty. Folks, welcome to Oxygen Exploded. It's a new game by Clay. It's what... Oh, shoot. I built these out of lead. Oh, that's not good. Okay, the wires are steel, so I'm cool with the wires. This is steel. That won't melt. That's steel. That won't melt. The conveyor rails are all steel or wolframite, so they're fine. And now I have to go in and I have to... See, I don't like this. Okay, so this is bad. This is what happens when it solidifies, but doesn't turn into debris like this. When you mine this, so this is 219 kilograms, but when you mine it, you lose half the mass. So it will turn into 110 kilograms. Not good. Oh gosh, I gotta get some cool... You know what? Any water I run through here is gonna get not good. But I need to get water through there because I have to get the turbines running. Okay, so all right, this becomes a priority. Sorry. Guess what? I'm going to sacrifice any water I have here. This is all going to get super, super hot. So let's bust this up. Yeah. I hate that noise. That's the sound of failure. Oh, who's starving? Why are you starving? We have so much food. We have a lot of food. We have 185,000 kilocalories of barbecue. Barbecue is good stuff. All right. Well, I'll let him figure that out. So we need to run a pipe. Again, God, I don't like doing this last minute. It's all emergency stuff. Up. Over to here. And then from here, we're going to drop back down. Super ghetto. And that water is going to heat up, and then I won't have anything to do with it, but that's fine. Whatevs. And I can't even get in... the automation sensor melted. That's what I made out of lead. What am I thinking? Too close to Rome. Garrett says, I'm too close to Rome. Don't let everything burn. Yeah, but I won't be fiddling. Okay, guys, you got to build this fast because that noise is bugging me. Oh, wait. What did I build this out of? Iron. Okay, iron's fine. I got a lot of that. Again, this is what I love about having capped those volcanoes. I have so much refined metals. It means I don't have to turn my ore into refined metals. There wasn't a lot of ore. And so when I saw that there wasn't a lot of ore available, I thought there's got to be volcanoes. And sure enough, I thought they'd be higher up in the map. It turns out that they were all the way down in the oil biome. Oh shoot! Because this is entombed. Okay, so the sweeper's entombed, but I don't think the volcano is. Because I want the volcano to keep erupting. Guys, please build this. That noise is driving me crazy. That's right. So when this all does explode, at least Padre SJ will be on the rocket. One dupe will survive. There can be only one. Come on, come on. Guys, build the thing already. The thing. Do the thing. The thing. Oh, shoot. No. Why did I cancel that? That's wrong command. Keep building it, dupes. You were doing a good job. Come back, please. Okay, I don't like doing this, but build it. That's the yellow alert. That basically means, hey, do this now. I don't care what you drop everything. If you do that early game before they have suits, they tend to pee themselves and then you end up with polluted water everywhere. But they're in suits, so I can control where they end up peeing. I'm going crazy with that sound, y'all. You gotta do this for me. Come on. In the meantime, let's see what's available at the printer. I can get pufflet eggs. I can get a new dupe, which I will. So as soon as I start sending dupes to through the teleport, I'm going to replace them with new dupes that I have to train up because new dupes are fresh and they don't have any skills. They're terrible. And all of these are bad. I want one with one of the new traits like radiation. Oh, and so Gareth says, I missed a little bit of pipe. I did, but there's a reason for that. This is a little thing that you can do. See, these two are not connected, but they are next to each other, which means you can connect them without a build. Just like this, watch. So no dupe, just doop. Now they're connected and I cancel the build. So this is how I queued up the build last night because one of the issues with Oxygen Not Included is you sometimes don't want them to turn something on until it's fully ready. So what I would have them do is I would have to have them build adjacent pipe segments or adjacent power segments or adjacent gas segments. And then I could go back in and I could just complete it without any additional dupe interaction. It's a cool little bit. All right, so if I turn this on, it's going to pump some water. It's going to cool off my turbines, and then I can get my power. See? There you go. You're feeling good now? Wow, 63 degrees. From 30 to 63 degrees. Okay, come on. There we see. Now we're feeling better, right? Right? Now we're generating power. Get it under 100. Come on. Come on. Keep going. Keep going. Getting close. There. There. Yes. Yes. Feel the coolness. Of course, now I am... Okay, it's not bad. It's down to... It's bumping up by about... like 10 degrees. And unfortunately, I've already used up most of this water for... wow, this is a lot of polluted oxygen. I'm going to have to throw down some deodorizers here. I don't like having this much polluted oxygen. I got rid of all the slime lung already, but it bothers me. All right, so... Oh, I think we're almost done with the seizing. Come on, you're down below 100. Stop making that noise. This is not the best. It's a mixed polluted water and clean water pond. It's not a good cooling thing, but it's an emergency. Yeah, Gareth, so what I have down here, let me show you. I guess, yeah, that's right, because you weren't here at the start of the playthrough. So this is the cooling system for this is the iron volcano, and we've got the copper volcano here. And most of the time, these can self-cool. So the liquid coming off the turbines is enough to cool themselves before it drops back into here. But I've got this cooling loop, this separate cooling loop. This is primarily used to cool down all the material down here so that it can be used in the base anywhere without causing heat issues. But the other reason why I have it is because of this. So I've got a little bit of a cooling loop there, and I've got a tiny bit of a cooling loop here. And I've got these sensors. So if it goes over 99 degrees, which is almost just about to start overloading, it will flip on this liquid shutoff, and it will divert enough water, cooling fluid, through this to keep these from overheating. And then immediately it shuts it back off. So it just sips just every once in a while. The nice thing is, because I'm also using this cooled off brine, most of the time this aqua tuner isn't on. And when it is on is only when the volcanoes are erupting. And when the volcanoes are erupting, they're actually making enough power through their turbines to pay, along with this one, to pay for the cost of the aqua tuner. So it's actually a net energy positive. It gives power back into the system when it's erupting, which is nice. It's actually even enough to run the desalinator. So when this water starts getting above zero, so around 10 degrees or so, this will turn on, and it will start providing water for cooling, cold water for cooling everything off over here. And actually, let's see, how much water have they accumulated? There's about 2,200 kilograms in the infinite storage container. Let's see. Have we stopped? Okay, we're close. So once I get the new I have to put in another turbine and aqua tuner up here. It's going to be used to cool off this water, so I can feed the Rodriguez and the rest of the base with cooler water. Because if I can feed the Rodriguez with like 30-degree water, it comes out at 45 degrees, which I don't have to cool at all, and then I can do away with this. And this whole area is going to turn into the hot box. And then this is going to be the liquid cooling pond. I'm going to probably put the rock crusher down here and some support equipment. There we go. Wow. This is running at what? 500 watts? That's running at 850. Whoa. There's a lot of heat in there. And by the way, Gareth, you weren't here for this part. Because I'm lazy and I haven't hooked this thing up to the main power grid yet, all of that power, like 1,000 watts, is it's running this light bulb, this 10-watt light bulb. It's wasteful, I know, but I didn't want to do the work. I wanted to focus on. I wanted to get to space. Space is good. All right. I think was I missing anything here? Oh no, that's right. I put Padre SJ through the skill scrubber. Is he scrubbed? He is. Okay, so I need advanced research and astronomy, and I need operating because I'm going to operate the machinery to get that. And then I need rocketry and suit training and rocketry 2. All right, so that's the minimum that I want. I can put him into the rocket, and I'm ready to go. So let's set my crew. Is Padre SJ. Padre SJ is going to go away, guys. Say goodbye. And we should not see him for many days until he runs out of a supply of plastic or oxygen, because he's definitely not going to run out of water. All right. So let's set that. Crew only, please. And then inside, I'm going to set my priorities. So the first thing is this. He's got to provide power. And then he's got to operate that. And then he's going to do that. Okay, and I need you to take off your suit, Padre. There you go. So, and you're not going to go outside. This is your new bed. There you go. And this is your new table. There you go. See? Everyone's happy. All right, so now I'm going to choose my destination. I just need to be in orbit. Oh, but look at that. I got 6 tiles. 1, 2. Let's go here. And then I can research all that area. And launch checklist incomplete. What am I missing? No, it's all good. Launch! 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 Goodbye, Padre! Wow! Okay. Okay, so now that Padre is in space, let's see. Let's turn this on. No, actually, no. We don't have to turn on the oxygen generator until I've used up all of this, which should be in about 2.5, 3 cycles. I can't remember if Padre is a deep breather. Padre might be a deep breather. If he's a deep breather, it's going to be less than that. That's going to be half the time. But then he will start exhaling, there we go, little bits of carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide is going to go here. It'll go down to the bottom. Oh, I forgot about, I should have put an airflow tile there. Okay, I'll fix that when I come back. When the carbon dioxide builds up enough so that it hits this, which is the little gas sensor, it'll turn on this pump, and the pump will pump that out. In the meantime, he's got plenty of water to run the bathroom. He's got plenty of food. He's got you got 228,000 kilocalories. So I mean, that for what he uses, what 1.5 kilocalories per cycle, or 1,500 kilocalories per cycle. So yeah, he's good. He's not staying in here for 150 days. Yeah, I can do 200 days with a full freezer, but I need more bristleberries. Then, oh, I need you to make as many of these as possible. And actually this, yeah, okay, so he'll do the telescope until it's fully explored all around, which is good. And then when that's done, he'll go and he'll manufacture these data. I think I need, let's see, how many do I need? 250 there, 250 there, so 500, 900, another 250, so 1150, 1180, 1200, 1230, 1260. Oh gosh, now we're getting up at 1290, 1320, 1380. Oh gosh, 15, 1630. So I need 1,630 in order to finish the research tree. Eso la. I don't know if I have enough plastic for that. But that's okay. I made an earlier iteration of this space capsule. See, look, it's dumping the water into space. I am polluting space, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Okay, they changed that because it used to be it just disappeared. Now it literally dumps out of the top of the spacecraft. Oh shoot, he's hungry because I forgot. I have to tell him it's okay to eat the what do you call it? The berry sludge. Where are you? Padre SJ, go ahead and you can eat the sludge, my friend. Eat it. Nom 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 nom. That's a good little Padre. Look at him. He's eating on his little berry sludge. He's so happy. All right, good. There's no radiation here, right? Ooh, there is. Ooh, I thought the radiation was blocked by the... That changed because that didn't used to be like that. Oh, look at this. So Padre's piss blocks out like 30 rats. It does. It blocks. It's 24%. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are building a spacecraft, just remember, surround the outside of it with the human waste and you'll be just fine. That's disgusting. Why? I don't know why they changed this animation. That I can't do anything with that, right? I mean, it's not like I can't. Well, I can mop it, but I can't get up there. Wait, the walls here are still unbreakable, correct? Yeah, I can't. Yeah. Ooh, I found a new planet. Ooh, oh, it's the fire one. So that's got all the volcano. But this is important. So it's the magma planet. This is probably the one that's the hardest to mine. But if you get it, you get niobium. And if you get niobium, you get thermium. And thermium, so steel increases the overheat temperature by 200. Ooh, they even changed the nighttime animation. I love this. Oh, wait, no. They changed it so that as you move to different parts of space, the background changed. Okay, Clay, that's awesome. Nice, well done. But if you get so steel increases your overheat temperature by 200. So, like for example, in the volcanoes, I'm using steel, but it can still overheat if the turbines get stuffed. Thermium increases the overheat temperature by 900. So even if the turbines get stuffed, it ain't gonna break it. Yeah. So my radiation shield is my piss. Okay. That's, I mean, I wouldn't have thought about that, but yeah, look, you can see it. So two stacks of steel basically stops the radiation. You've got 18 rads. Here in the it's slightly, I mean, it's still 95 rads. That's not great. But then over here, it's 73. It's not 2 blocks of steel, but you do get a radiation blocking bonus from the urine that is accumulating at the top of the spaceship. Someone call Elon Musk. We've got it figured out. All right, I'm going to let Padre do his thing. Oh, wait. So how quick? Oh, he's using it quickly. I miscalculated that. Has it been 2 cycles? Oh, yeah. So it has been 2 cycles. Okay. So, but what I'll do now is I'll turn on the algae generator and I'll tell him, yeah, no, you got to do that, bro. You got to, let's tell him you have to do life support, because if you don't do life support, you gonna die. And you don't want to die. There you go. You don't need to do toggling, tidying. I don't care about rocketry, honestly, because you're just floating. Researching, yes, and operating, yes. Everything else can go down. Yeah, so as soon as the pressure starts to drop, because it's used up all the oxygen diffuser will turn on. It will do its thing. Excellent. Good. Full cycle. And then down below, yeah, this shouldn't be a problem because the carbon dioxide will never stay here. It will always fall off to the side. But I probably, when I get back to the planet, I'm going to replace this with an airflow tile so that it drops down easier. I want all the CO2 to be down here. All right, let's go back over here. Let's see. How's my melting volcano doing? Ooh, this is building up higher. That's not good. I don't like that. If that builds up higher, it's going to cover the volcano. Okay, at least the steam is down to 130, 132 degrees. So nothing is in danger of melting, so I'm going to turn off the pump. Oh gosh, that went from sub 30 degrees up to almost 37, 38 degrees. That's not good. These are running at 80. Oh gosh, no, I have to keep it on. I'm wasting the cooling. You know what I could do? Actually, oh yeah, here's what we're gonna do. We have all this cold regolith, and we're gonna drop it in here. Yeah. Hey guys, I finally found a place where you could put that regolith. Hi JP, welcome. Okay, I should be sleeping right now, but you know what? I am having a lot of fun. Yeah, you can get mad at the dupes, but I'm the guy who's doing the command. So if they're screwing up, yeah, I did it. All right. Oh, you know what? Let's make it easier for you to get over here. There you go. Let's add a ladder segment. And yeah, that's all you need. And guess what? We are storing regolith. It's going to heat it up and cool down the water. Not much, but it should be enough so that this doesn't get so hot that I can't use it for anything else. That's under filtration medium. So fill it up with regolith if you would. Make it a 9. Yeah. Oops. Copy both of those. All right. So here I had the mistake of, so when I drilled out this entire biome, all the polluted water collected down here, and there was a layer of water at the top. Water floats on top of polluted water, and unfortunately, I drew down enough that I started feeding water to the reeds, which they don't like. So I have to empty the storage in all these. And then I'm going to have to put a filter to feed the rest of the polluted water to it, hopefully before it gets too hot. Now, you kind of don't want to go over about, is it 35 degrees? 37 degrees. Otherwise, they stifle. Yeah, empty storage. I have to do this a couple of times because there's still water in the pipe. Clay, you got to figure out a way to make the dupes do this automatically, because like this happened last night and it ran the entire night, and I had a bunch of plants that were just stuck. And it should be a tidying thing or a farming task. They should recognize that the plant needs something. It's going to be a lot of water. Almost there. Almost there. There we go. Okay, good. Get that last one. There we go. Now we're happy. And again, I am feeding it germy polluted water. Basically, this is the this is the container that contains all the mopped up dupe accidents from around the base. Hey, you know what? Again, oxygen not included. The mantra is we don't waste anything. We waste nothing. So as soon as the volcano starts erupting again, good, here we go. So it's going to go for 128 cycles. When this gets over 10 kilograms, I'm going to go ahead and start turning on some of the more power intensive stuff. I want to get the plastic generator, the polymer press working again. I'm going to get the aqua tuner downstairs in the oil biome, get that working again. And then I got to get the hot box built. I need the hot box. For the people who just came in, the hot box is going to go right here. So all of the hot equipment is going to go in this area. I'm going to double wall this to keep the rest of the base from heating up. Double wall here. I've got this power. So this is tied into the main grid. And the main grid is actually tied in. I made it go all the way down into the oil biome. So when these volcanoes are erupting, even though the aqua tuner has to be on, I'm getting in excess of about 500 watts. And then I've also got a single petroleum generator down here that's just running. I mean, these oil wells aren't even running because I don't have the water. And the next project I'm going to have is I got to get up here. This is dormant. Good. So this is dormant now. So I'm going to get down here. I'm going to box it. And then I have to figure out a way to cool it. I'm going to have to build an aqua tuner and an aqua tuner and a turbine, because right now the water is 45 degrees, but as soon as I start siphoning water from this cavern, it's going to be erupting with, what is this, 110 degree steam, I think. Yeah, 110 degree steam. So it's not enough to trigger the turbine. I can't use a turbine to cool it directly, but eventually that will heat up everything. The only reason why it's cooled right now is because there was a break in the abyssalite layer when the map generated. This used to be an ice biome along with uranium. So you can see the wart seed here. So it's melted all this. And this is, it's got some coolness left into it. But if I start siphoning water, it's going to, oh gosh, this is actually joined. It's also going to get this one, and I don't want that. I want to maintain these biomes a little bit. There is still one AETN, the anti-entropy thermal nullifier. I've only got two. I found two. I got one right here and one down here. There should be 3 per map. Gareth wants to know can I do a liquid lock with oil? Actually, I do have a liquid lock. So this is a liquid lock right here. This will get me in. And all I have to do is I would add a block here so that none of the steam gets up here. And I would close this and put a door here so that nothing gets over to there. So I could get in here. This is not a problem. It's just not a priority for me because I've already got an iron volcano and a copper volcano. And this is erupting. So it's still dumping out aluminum. It's just, I don't have this. This is the cooling mechanism. And I actually, this is entirely my fault. I turned off the cooling mechanism because I wanted to show how it worked, and I forgot to turn it back on. So I can't blame that on the dupes. That's me. The other thing I could do is I could dump in a bunch more water. I put 3,000 kilograms of water in here, which is, by my calculations, that should be all that I need. Oh, no. Why are you? Ah, shoot. Hold on. I forgot about the sweeper there. That's my bad. Oh, great. Well, this area is about to get very cold. Actually, another thing that I could do, see how cold this area got because I ran the regolith over this rail? I wonder, am I close enough? Yeah, so I've got one coming out here. And I could dig one tile in and pull out. I could actually just, until it goes dormant, I could run regolith through here just on a loop. And it would more than cool off the volcano. Or I could just let it blow up. All right, you know what? I don't want to do that. What I want to do right now is I want something I should have done about 600 cycles ago. I dug out the teleport. Where's the teleport? Right here. This goes over to the other world. The other world. Which I can't see yet. But I mean, it's got uranium, and I want to. Oh, it's got a lot of uranium. Holy crud! It is stocked with uranium. This is excellent. Wait. Oh, why am I getting so many rads just from space? Look at this. There's uranium all over. If there's uranium in the crust, in the surface, there must be a lot of uranium down. Oh, this could be the thing that fuels my my nuclear reactors forever. Okay, so who do I want to send? I want to send somebody who needs to be able to dig. I'm going to have to skill scrub them. There's a mistake that some people make is you send over a dupe with their existing skills. The problem with that is they're going to go into major morale deficit when they get over there. Because, look at this place. This place is set up very nicely. Any place that the dupes have to be. So all of this in the red, dupes don't have to go down there. That's like machinery spaces. But where they have to be, it's all maximum decor. So they're getting all the decor bonuses. When we go to a new planet, there's going to be no decor. There's going to be a lot of negative decor. Ooh, shovel eggs. I've got a lot, but... Problem is, sometimes my dupes don't deliver them properly, and that causes issues. Do I want one of these guys? Devon. I love the nighttime owls. But I don't want decreased machinery. And definitely, germ resistant is a big no-no. I don't ever want that. That's terrible. So let's take the shovel eggs. And I'm gonna insist that you move these things up. I'm gonna watch you deliver them, because the last time I had them deliver shovel eggs, whoever was delivering it, while they were carrying it, they hit the end of their schedule, and so they dropped them down here. If it had not landed on this, it would have landed here, and if it had landed there, the thing about shovels, they can go through anything except refined metals and abyssalite, and I imagine one of those just barfing up on top of one of the iron volcanoes like this, and suddenly you have to go back in there. I don't like that. So, long story short, I'm gonna select. I can't. There's too much stuff here. I gotta start cleaning up a little bit. So sweep that, priority 9. Sweep that, priority 9. I'm gonna watch you and make sure you sweep it into the right place. There we go. Sweep, priority 9. All right, do it. Do it, dupes. Someone, don't make me go yellow alert on you. Okay, good. 1, 2, 3. Got all 3. Okay, good. Jammer B. Jammer B to the rescue. Jammer B is awesome. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. So there should be 3 in there. Yes. Okay, so they're in the right place. Drop out. Excellent. This is my food generator, by the way. This is all the barbecue you'd ever want. So the nice thing about my dupes is, aside from their skills, most of them are like super dupes. They're heavily trained up. Maybe I could send Jammer B. No, I want someone with good excavation, like up in the high 20s. Ooh, Sugarman. What is this? No, Rye Guy. Oh, no, Rye Guy is one of my originals. I kind of want to keep him in this base. 13, 27. Melly Mel. She's also an original. I want to keep her here. Ooh, Frankie Frico has an excavation of 22. Does he have any limitations? No, he's pretty good. Okay. Frankie Frico, you are going to become the inaugural dupe on the new world. But first, I need you to scrub your skills, if you would. Where are you, Frankie? There you go. Now, there are some advantages because I dug this out. Look at this spaghetti. I actually already have an oxygen pipe running to the teleport unit on the other planet. So once I find, dig out, and activate that, I have a ready source of oxygen. Because again, my full Rodriguez can support up to 30 dupes. I've only got 15 dupes in this colony, so I'm running half of what I could. And it's just one less thing that I have to worry about in the other colony. Essentially, use whatever oxygen. It's probably going to be polluted oxygen with very limited access to sand. But use that until I can find the other side of the teleport unit. And then I've got all the oxygen I need. And Frankie Friku's getting shaken up here. Wait, he had contact with slime lung germs? How is that possible? I got rid of all the slime lung germs. At least all the ones in the air. I hate slime lung. Again, some people weren't here earlier. If you played 2 years ago when I started, when this game was still very early, slime lung would kill everyone. It would destroy bases. Now it's just an annoyance. I mean, look, I have slime lung all over my mushrooms, so it's like a flavoring. All right, so Frankie Frico, report for duty if you would. And you know what? We should probably save, because sometimes the game crashes when you teleport for the first time. Yes, please overwrite the future cantaloupe. Dip trip, flip fantasia, and blop. All right, so the first thing I need you to do is to take off that suit because it won't do you any good without a dock. Is it messed up? The suit is 84% durability. So, and it still has oxygen. So if I am in a pickle, I have something to use. Now there's another dupe in here, but it's a super not trained dupe. So I want to get a couple of things up first. Okay, so here's what I see. Already down here. Okay, so it's nice and cold. Okay, so I'm in a cool area, and we're almost 800 cycles in. And this hasn't turned hot, so there's no break in the abyssalite layer. That's good. Sometimes I've done the first teleport, and the map generated with a break, and there was a super hot biome, and I come into a 90 degree, like my dupe's immediately dying. That's not good. So polluted oxygen. There's a lot of polluted dirt. I'm going to be getting a lot of my air from that. My immediate concern is dirt. I need dirt to make a latrine. Because if I don't do that, I'm going to be having accidents on the floor. And with polluted oxygen, what you don't want is germs. Because germs, be it the food poisoning germs or the slime lung, they multiply in polluted oxygen. And the other issue is sand. Normally, I don't see any sand anywhere. So if you don't have sand, you can't put out oxygen deodorizers, which means you can't get rid of the polluted oxygen, which means my boys here are going to be living in polluted oxygen for a while. Their lungs are going to be bad. They're going to be getting debuffs. That's not great. But this looks promising. So this is all 22 degrees. This is 32. There's a little bit of food in there. So I already see there's mealwood. Normally, this is like when I'm going to find forests. And if I find forests, I'm going to be able to turn that into ethanol, and then I have my power. Okay, so, I've got dirt here. Let's do it. Where do I want to build my latrines? The other thing is with mud, you have to be careful with mud. Either polluted mud. So polluted mud, you can turn into polluted water and polluted dirt. Mud, you can turn into dirt and water. But they collapse. So if you dig underneath these things, they'll collapse into it. It's like sand. And what I don't want is I don't want this to collapse and then that polluted water running into my base. So I'm going to dig down. Well, first, gosh, that's right. I have no resources whatsoever. Mud does me no good. So let's dig here. Okay, now I got a little bit of dirt. I don't want to put the latrine in here. I want to put the latrine outside, but unfortunately, I don't really have an alternative. I don't even have a clean water source. This is going to be problematic. You need clean water so you can set up a wash station. Even if you used an outhouse, if you don't have at least like a wash station, you'll spread food poisoning germs everywhere. And if you get food poisoning germs on food that you eat and then you eat it, your dupe gets sick and you get a debuff. I'm not going to be digging this way for a while. This is all mud. So if I dig under here, this is going to collapse on top of me. That's not super attractive. You know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to have to dig across into here. So let's do this. And skill required, but that's fine because I scrubbed my skills, so I've got a lot left. Oh no! What? Oh, Shiza. He did not finish the skill scrubbing process. That's not good. He's going to go into morale deficit. Oh, shoot. That's super not good. Okay, at some point, he's going to have to punch out. So something happened, and even though I put him in the skill scrubber, he didn't finish the cycle. So I'm going to have to send him back, which is good because it's right here. This gets me back to the original world. But I'm going to try to get as much work out of him as possible right now. Do your thing, Frankie Frico. And the reason why I'm not defrosting his friend yet, the guy in this tube, is because once he gets defrosted, first, he's a very slow worker compared to Frankie. But second, he's going to be taking up food and bathroom breaks. All right, so I'm going to put the latrine right here. I don't want to do it, but if you don't get it up now, he'll have an accident. In fact, what's his bladder at? His bladder's at 51%. Okay. So build an outhouse, and that becomes priority 9. Build that, please. Fill it up. Fill it up. You got to fill that up with dirt. You got to fill it up with dirt. 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 Okay, okay. I got to change your priorities. You got to supply. Or, yeah, supply. Oh, your supply. Go. Yeah, your ranching is down. No farming. Building and digging. No cooking for you, please. Not yet. And increase your tidying. There you go. Dirt. Give it some dirt. There you go. Okay, now you got a place to pee. Don't you feel better, Frankie? I did say before I hit teleport, but I really don't like to use it unless it crashes. That's the only reason why. If it's a mistake, you know what? It's part of the game. I make mistakes. Oh, gosh. See, now, this is a double-edged sword. I don't like that the floor is wet because it means that every time he touches it, he's going to get soggy feet and he's going to get a bad morale. But it also means that it's going to stop the polluted dirt from outgassing. In this case, because I'm fighting morale, I'd rather take the hit to his lungs than that. So there you go. You got to mop all that up. But that's good because that gives you water. And with the water, oh gosh, can I? Oh, good. So this will hold. It's these that won't hold. I can build a station right here. So we're going to build a medicine station, a wash basin right here, which is really not good because it's in the wrong direction, but that's okay. Do all that. Oh, he doesn't have a bed. I'm sorry, little Frankie. Actually, no, I'm not. That's what you get. You don't get a bed. Because you didn't finish your skill scrubber. Bad, Frankie. Actually, it's my fault. I should have checked it. Sometimes it does that. All right, so let's build him a bed. And we'll build this boy a bed, too. Y'all get your own bedrooms. See? Man, that's tiny little... It's a fertilizer block that could just so collapse and ruin my day. And you gotta get all that. But the good thing is that water that you're mopping up is gonna let you fill the sink. Okay, why aren't you eating this? You know what? I better make sure he's not locked out of it. Nutrient. Yeah, you can eat nutrient bars. And he's going to get food poisoning. I know it. I just feel it. All right, good. So over here... Ooh, what's that? Wow. That got cold real fast. So not what I thought was going to be over here. And I see, yeah, ethanol. So this is a super cold biome over here. Okay, so that's a no-go for me. I can't go down there until I get the oxygen dock up. All right. Good to know. Okay, but what I can do is I can go ahead and build myself a pump here so I can have access to water, and then I gotta figure out where I'm gonna dig. All right, now these are fun. Oh, here we go. Oh, yes, it's right here. Okay, so this is the output for the teleport. I already piped in oxygen, so if I can get up here and activate this, I get pure oxygen from the main base. All right, so that's my deal. Now I have to make sure that he has field research because he needs that to activate, and he does not. Shoot. Okay, so I have enough points to give it to him, but it's right here. So that's a lot of negative. Look how negative he is right now. He's so upside down. Everybody else is on the positive. So 45 morale with a 13 deficit. He's 16 with a 25 deficit, which means very soon here, he's going to start hating life. He's going to get super stressed. And I think when he gets stressed, what's his deal? What does he do? He starts doing... where are you? Frankie Frico. There you go. His bio is when he's stressed, he... breaks things. That's awesome. So he breaks things and he won't fix them. That's not a good thing. All right, so he's got to wake this guy up because he's very quickly he's going to turn into Frankenstein. I got maybe another 2 or 3 cycles with him before I got to send him back to the main plant, and he just fell asleep in the water. Wow. That's not going to do good for his morale. All right, so what I got to do is I got to get up to that teleport as soon as possible because he's the only one who'll be able to activate it. So up, 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 up. Oh, no, stop. Up, up, up. Okay, and this is priority 9. You got to do this. And actually, okay, my game is getting kind of wonky here. This becomes a priority 7. This is actually priority 8. Oh, 8. Okay. This is not good. So this is a plus. This is a big plus. And let's see. We're also going to have to start building. We'll build the pipe to get down there. All right. Hassan, what are your skills? What do you do? What's your deal? You are... Oh, shoot. He is not germ resistant, so he's going to get sick all the time. That's actually, I wouldn't take that. I hate that. That's a terrible trait. The only trait that's worse than that is probably the flatulent. They keep farting natural gas. All right, so build the thing. Do the thing. Do the thing. You know, Hassan is such a poor dupe right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him on tidying duty. And Frankie Frico is on toggling duty because he's going to toggle that thing open. He's not on tidying. He's not on cooking. He is on building and digging. That's basically the only thing I want him doing. Because he does those things very quickly. Like 4 times faster than Hassan. All right, dig that up, please. Oop. The game's starting to go wonky. I don't know if it's because I'm duplicating a 4K screen. It's freaking out. Okay, so go. Come on, we are in a race against time. You're going to get... See, he's at 6%. You're going to get crankier and crankier until you start breaking things at around 60%. So I need you to get up here. I'm going to get you into super moral stress. And then you're going to activate this thing and go back home. Which is not good because there's a recharge time. So it'll be a long time before I can send a decent dupe for Hassan. Hassan's going to have to care for himself. Which is not a good thing. Hassan gonna die, I think, is what's gonna happen. Oh gosh, I can't even use that. That's in the wrong temperature. Okay, so are there any plants here I can use? All right, so that plant I can harvest. That's a bog. Bog's not bad. Bog's a decent amount of calories. And I got a couple access here. All right, so Hassan probably has enough to keep him going. At least he won't die right away. He probably will die, but... And if I can get Hassan to build some wires to the plug slugs, that's actually... They're cheap ways of getting power. Just don't feed the plug slugs any metal. You'll get more power, but then they generate hydrogen, and you don't really want to be using up your metals. Okay, build your things, please. Son, what are you doing? Yeah, you're in low oxygen because you're sleeping in the worst place possible. Oh my goodness, doopies! Doopy doop doops. Come on, man. Scooby Doo it. Move it. Hey, Hassan, how about building that? There you go. Build a bed. Build a bed. There you go. See? You're doing something useful, Hassan. Okay, so before Frankie Frico leaves, I'm gonna have him strip off his nice suit, and Hassan will take it, and then he can get a new one back at the base. So, oh, actually, his stress has decreased. Okay. Maybe he can stay a little bit longer, but no, I gotta get him skill scrubbed, because... Okay, go. Let's make sure that Padre SJ is not dead. You cool, Padre? Yeah. All right. How many data disks do you got there? What did I say he needed? 13,000 or 1,300? He's got 891. He's got a way to go. How is his oxygen? His oxygen is depleted, but he's got plenty of algae. Oh gosh, plenty of algae. And his see, look at that. All this time he's used that much. So yeah, he's good in water, and he continues to generate his own radiation shield. Excellent. Okay. So, Frankie, you're going to hate this, but I got to give you that skill so you can activate that thing. But after you build a couple of things so that we can get some immediate oxygen. There we go. So that goes up. And then we need to build it into here, like so. Whoops. Excuse me. Like so. And like so. And that should keep you guys alive. At least you don't have to worry about oxygen, which is always a plus. Okay, there you go. And let's get overkill here. Okay, so please build this as fast as you can. That would be great. He's actually decreasing. So he's decreasing his stress, but the problem is I need to give him the skill for field researcher because that's what you need to activate that teleport. And when I do that, it's going to cause some irritation. But I don't want to do that till he finishes building because he is by far the better builder. I mean, oh shoot, collapse. He will build in a quarter of the time of Hassan. Hey guys, you got it. There you go. You got to dig in. I hate all this outgassing. Look at this. Oh, that is an ugly environment. I want oxygen. I don't want polluted oxygen. Who gets the bed? Oh, you both have a bed. Hey, you've got a bed for each person. So this goes to who? That's Frankie Frico and Hassan. Guess what? You get your own bed. And I've got 12,000. So I've got enough for 4 cycles. Okay, Hassan, you're going to be a farmer. I got to give you the priority for farming because you need to go collect some extra food here. Where are you? You're a farmer now. I know you're not equipped for it, but if you don't get that food, you gonna die. I would prefer that you not die. I promised your mom I would take care of you. All right. I could also just kill the plug slugs, but I don't want to do that. They're useful for more than just meat. Okay, are you almost done? All right, so I got to do it. I am so sorry, Frankie. Oh, massive deficit. Oh, he's going to hate that. But now you can activate that. Wait, what? I just gave it to you. Why do we still lack? We don't lack. There's no lacking. Go do it. Toggle that. Frankie? Frankie, do the thing, Frankie. You can't. Okay, so in order for me to put down oxygen deodorizers, you need sand, and there is a stark lack of sand. Always is. Oh, so I have to get all the way up here before I get sand. I could make a rock crusher, but the problem is I have nothing. I have no power to run a rock crusher right now, unless I get the plug slugs up. But so my thing is oxygen. The only thing keeping my dupes alive right now is the fact that the first teleport planet always has a little bit of oxalite, and it's about to run out. So if I don't get this oxygen system up before that, I'm going to have to build a manual treadmill. Oh, why is this? Activate this. Cancel and activate it now. Activate, please. Someone, do the thing. Oh, Frankie's sleeping. So I'd have to make a treadmill to power a battery to suck in what little, because there's no algae either. So I'd have to make what do you call it? The electrolyzer, which will release a lot of hydrogen into the base, which I don't want to do right now. So the best way to make my dupes survive is this. Look. He's doing the thing. He's doing the thing. Do the thing. No. Yes. See, now this oxygen is coming from my main base. And check me out. Look at that. We go from no oxygen, from noxygen not included, to oxygen everywhere. Yeah. Oh, Gareth, the reason why Gareth wants to know why I can't build a skill scrubber here. I could, because the tech tree transfers over. So if you've got the tech in one place, you've got it in another. However, the skill scrubber uses 1200 watts. I don't even have a watt here. So that would be an issue. Now, the question is, how long, because Frankie Frico has some very good traits, how long before he starts to go psychotic and I have to send him back? I don't want to do that because if we go back, this is recharging, and it's at 62%. So that's actually not wow. They increased that. It used to take like 7 or 8 cycles to recharge. This is going to recharge within 3 cycles, 4 cycles. That's not bad. So, all right, but in the meantime, now that we've got oxygen is taken care of. Next up is food. Because remember, the reason why you need to get oxygen so quickly in the game, or you need to get power so quickly in the game, is because that's how you generate oxygen. Since the other base is generating the oxygen for this base, which by the way, this is the only planet that will happen on. Although all the other ones you have to build the infrastructure. There's no teleports between them. It means I can move on to the next priority. So if it's not JPS, could your guy get mad and break the O2 you just repaired? Yes! So that's why I got to watch this. At 60%, he goes psychotic and starts breaking things and actually starts disobeying what I tell him to do. So if it starts rising, I got to send him back. It's too dangerous to have a dupe that starts going mad. Okay, so let's mine some stuff. I really don't like this here. That's like just toying with death. Food. We got to get access to food. So that means we got to get access to this over here. As much as possible. Get access to those. Unfortunately, this does mean I'm going to let the plug slugs out, and I didn't want to do that because once they get out, you have to keep them away from your metal. They will eat your metal, and I don't think I have to explain why that's bad. I mean, they generate power, which is awesome. So watch. When they go to sleep at night, they'll hang from the roof. Wait for it. Wait for it. Where are you? Come on. Oh, there we go. So, depending on how recently they've eaten, it's anywhere from 40 watts all the way up to 1600 watts if they're tamed. Which sounds awesome. They only do that at night, so only when they're sleeping. And you have to have them in a room where you've run a wire at the second level down from the ceiling. And hopefully they'll hang over that wire and then they connect to it while they're sleeping and they power up your batteries. It's good in a pinch. It's not a consistent, reliable way to get power. What I use it for is a way to sort of top off my batteries at night and as a source of food because they're like any animal. They die and they leave a lot of meat. But I need my metal more than I need them. And what normally happens, and this is why I need to get the hot box up in the other place, because this is linked by teleport, I can also ship over supplies. So I could ship over food if they're in a pinch. But it also means I can ship over materials. I need to ship glass. Because if I can ship glass, then I can set up solar panels up top. And the second base is normally not the industrial base. I do all the industrial stuff in the first base. This is normally it will collect the resources that are here. Like, for example, what is this? So this is some sort of geyser. Oh, by the way, if you're learning how to play this, if you hit priority, which is P, and hit 0, which is red alert or yellow alert, and you click this, what it is will show up over here. So that's a cobalt volcano. That's awesome. That's actually quite good. I'm going to mark that as a 9. Because just like the other volcanoes, and look how close this is to the teleport, so I have easy access to it. It is across an abyssalite layer. I will have to have turbines. So just like the other thing, I'm going to have to build up a little mechanism here to keep it cool, to cool the metal, because I don't want to destroy this biome. Actually, there's another one here. What's this? This is... Ooh. Okay, like, so as bad as the first map was, by putting the cool slush geyser all the way at the bottom, this is awesome. It's right here. So I get access to nice, cold, polluted water. Again, the cool thing about that is I can use it to cool things off, and then once it gets warm enough, I feed it to the reeds to get myself more fibers so I can build things like clothes and carpeted tiles, which increases the decor, so I don't have to worry about dupes freaking out. Oh, and by the way, so there is this one thing they do for you. The starting base on the second planet, it has a decent amount of decor because of all the glass here. What some people will sometimes do is they will rip apart the glass to make solar panels. Don't do that. You cannot recreate these. So if you rip them out, they're gone. And they are great for decor. The only time I start to rip them out is when I got enough fiber so I can build my own carpeted tiles, because then I don't need this anymore. My decor will be better. But yeah, it's not always a good idea to scavenge every material you can find. All right, so food. So they're going to get that, and they're going to get this. And unfortunately, at the same time, I am releasing all of the plug slugs into the wild. At some point, I'm going to get either one of these dupes or a new dupe from the other base who's trained in ranching, and will wrangle all the slugs into one place. Now, I think... what was this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So with 8, I should be able to just barely support 2 dupes. It's like 4 per dupe because it's a 5 cycle. Okay, so I'm still a little bit short. I need 5 per dupe, but all right. But someone get this, please. Get that. Put that in. How come unavailable? Oh, no. Store everything. Put everything in there. Yeah. There you go. Bring it all down. Get it out of the pollution, please. Everything. Put it all in here. Yeah. That's what we want. Oh, and swamp chard. Swamp chard is also, these things. There's a lot of calories in those. They're terrible calories. They make your dupes feel terrible, but they will keep them from starving. But they don't grow back, so it is not a renewable resource. Bog is. Now, if I can find... Oh, there we go. So if I keep going, and then I've got the 5 per dupe, and that should be enough so that they don't starve. And I really do need that sand because I want to get rid of all this polluted oxygen. Now, the nice thing is, with polluted oxygen, once you start filling your base with pure air, you're going to overpressurize over all like the polluted mud and the polluted dirt, so it doesn't continue to give you a lot of polluted oxygen. But right now, that's just ugly. Ugh. Yuga. All right, so I've got enough food for 2. All right, let's go back over to the main base. It's still on fire. Hey, look at this. Because of the regolith, my water has gone down from 45 degrees down to 32 degrees. So that's good. Oh, what happened there? Oh, there's no regolith. Okay. Fill that up with regolith, please. And the regolith has gone from minus 50 degrees to minus 12. So it won't last forever. So at some point, the regolith will be equalized on temperature and it's going to start heating up again. But for now, it's enough to keep it from completely melting. I could get in there, really. I could. I know. I'm going to wait till it goes dormant. I'm still getting the aluminum. Wait, am I still getting the aluminum? What's going on here? Where are you? Right. There. Oh, 7.7 tons. Yeah, so it's still coming out. I'm still getting the aluminum, so I'm cool. I'll just wait until it stops erupting. I can go in there and fix it. And that actually gives me time to get the hot box running so I can get all the steel I need to get it fixed. See? Everything's good. And this is up to 8.6 kilograms. When it gets up to 10 kilograms, I'll start up the polymer press. This is at 14.7. When that hits 19, it'll turn it on. How's Padre doing? How much plastic do I have? Or how much data? 139. Not even close to what I need. Low oxygen. Wait, whoa, what? Oh, shoot. Wait, why isn't... This should be turning on. Why isn't this turning on? All right. So this is a problem. Uh-oh. Stinkoni. Who got trapped? You got trapped. Wait, who's trapped? Why are you trapped? Are you still trapped? No. Okay, that was weird. All right. So yeah, here's the problem. He's working down here. Padre, I am working down here, but there's not enough carbon dioxide to trip the sensor. So what can I do? The problem is these things have to be in the bottom. There's no place to put them up top. I guess I can move the bathrooms down here. If the bathrooms are down here, then... Because he only uses them once a day. Maybe that would work. We'll see. I'm not sure why this is not... Okay, I'm going to cheat. I don't want to do this, but I want to ventilate a little bit. So, when you detect oxygen, turn on. What, still no? So what are you detecting? You're detecting nothing. That's not because it's vacillating too much. Dang it. It has to stay on one element for a certain amount of time before it will trigger. Okay, well, eventually this will turn on. It will start pumping it out. How much algae do I have? I've still got the first batch of algae, so I'm not going to run out of water. Hey, Del Poco. Oh, hey, yeah, go have fun with Poco Radio. Peace out, man. Oh my goodness, it's 2:45. I've been playing for 4 hours. Okay, that wasn't supposed to happen. I'm sorry, I was having too much fun. Folks, this is it for this episode of Padre Gets Obsessed. Thank you very much. We're going to do it again. Not just for this. I've actually got a surprise coming for you tomorrow that probably released on Sunday. And this has been fun. It's been a crapper of a week. And thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being cool. Thank you for reminding me that things happen outside of Rome and things happen outside of our little blobs of oxygen and drama. God bless. Take care. And I'll see you next time.